What's happening, everyone, and welcome to our Canelo versus Munguia post-fight special. Got the homies with me, George from Off the Ropes Boxing and MMA, from the Shoe Shine, the one and only Drew Evil, man. We're here, and we're ready to talk about it, dude. Canelo beats Munguia in a pretty wide decision by the scorecards. Damn good fight. That was fun. I'm glad it's over. Kind of stressful. Well, it was a little stressful for a little while, but then after that, it wasn't so stressful. But then I just started analyzing things. But I mean, I could go on and on. There's a lot of points to hit. Georgie, what do you think about this fight, man?
Yeah, Matt. Well, thanks for having me on, Chicano. What's up, Drew? It's been a little while. We've been on the same panel, but I would say, yeah, man, it was pretty entertaining. It pretty much went the way I expected. I didn't expect for Munguia to get dropped. Um, I was pretty entertaining. I was pretty entertained. I, like you said, Chicano, you were a little stressed, but I think this is why I kind of stay in the middle because I don't want to be like, oh shit, like have to worry. But I mean, like I said, there's moments where I cheered for Munguia, cheered for Canelo. That I wasn't, trying to pick one over the other. I was just excited to see a good fight. The Mexicans, and of course, the fans winning this one. Um, I do think that Munguia maybe won the first two, maybe the first three, and then maybe like one from like 5 to 12. They weren't like close rounds, but I mean, he was pretty busy. He did throw the most, he did throw more, but didn't really quite land as much or as accurate as Canelo was, which we is what we expected. With a excellent counterpuncher that Canelo is, it was kind of expected. But um, yeah, man, I mean, he had him hurt. I would have loved to seen for the for him to go in and try to get him out of there. I was impressed, but I would have been very impressed if he would have been able to go in there and get the job done and get him out of there. So, to me, what it looks like, just observing, the experience, obviously, experience is what won this, and which was what I thought as well. But you can see that he didn't like try to conserve himself, but he was trying not to overdo it, knowing that he had Mungi on there that could go 12, that in which he did. He made it all the way to the end. But overall, man, I, I was impressed, but I would have liked to seen, I would have been very impressed if he would have went in there for the kill.
Good perceptions. Run PMC's in the house. JC, what's happening, man? What you think about that fight? He says Canelo doesn't get hit. He rolls with the punches. Yeah, dude, I saw a lot of rolling. I think Mugia did do a good job of mounting offense at times, man. I thought it was a good effort by both of them. Drew, how'd you score this fight, man? What'd you think of the fight?
I had it. Actually, I had a 10-2 with a knockdown. Canelo. I just think after round three, the fight wasn't really competitive. It was fun to watch, but I didn't think it was a competitive fight after round three. Like, I think a lot of his punches were going off guards of Canelo. They weren't landing. Like, if you want to look at it, everybody's just looking at it and this is awesome because he's throwing all these punches, but maybe one out of all those punches will land on
Right.
Canelo or something. It just here's the thing. After round three, Canelo got his timing down. Like what beats volume and speed every time?
Timing.
Timing. He timed them. And the messed up thing is and mistake was, hey, I understand you're gonna throw volume punching, but you can't throw the same punch patterns all the time. You gotta switch up your pattern of punches you're gonna throw.
Mm-hmm.
Because if a small fighter's going to read that pattern and he's gonna time that pattern and know what's coming next, and he's gonna be able to counter you. And that's what happened. I'm here was just going with a right left most of the time. Or if he went with his jab, he'd be double jab, right, left. It was just the same type of pattern. And there wasn't no body shots. He was headhunting most of those times like that. And that's what happens when you're going to do that. Volume isn't always your best friend if you don't know how to control your volume. And that's what was the thing that did Hyman in. Like, I thought it went the way I thought it was going to go. I thought he was going to dominate him, and he did. This was a dominating performance, and this really, and tell you the truth, people were in there saying that, oh, maybe he shouldn't have took this fight. When would you want him to take this fight? When he's like 58-0, he's 43-0 now. He's fought guys at the world level. He's fought the guy that he stopped a guy that Canelo went the distance with. And whoever thinks that he was not, that he shouldn't, that he wasn't ready for this fight, that he should have taken this fight and everything, I don't understand. I just don't understand the logic. The dude just got really put out there, and everybody knew. Like, now you know the complete story how to beat Hyman Mejia.
Yeah, you beat Canelo Alvarez. JC here says no one has ever dropped Munguia. And you know what? I'll tell you what. I think at that time right there, I was so happy to see that knockdown because Munguia was really starting to mount that offense and really started to try to take it to Canelo. He tried to. Man, it was just like the perfect, what was it, like an uppercut, and then he finished him with a shot to the body. He was already going down, but Canelo connected to the body when he was on the way down. It was a really nice early combo. Rare to see combos from Canelo these days. JC also says, Canelo makes that shit look easy. That's what people don't understand. Run here says that it was a solid performance from Canelo. Not the Canelo of old, but a new take. We're going to get into that too, because I mean, I started analyzing the fight, in different ways. I was trying to enjoy it, but as we also wanted to see where Canelo currently is right now, right? That was one of the things, like, where is he at right now? Because the Jermell Charlo fight didn't really show us too much. Just Munguia got a better chin than Benavidez. He does have one hell of a chin. That's for sure. Canelo was connecting. Terrence Crawford said on X, right, that Canelo carried him the whole time. Now, in those final rounds, bro, like I kept thinking to myself, okay, well, let's see how Canelo looks in the last 3 rounds. But he won those rounds, in my opinion. On top of that, too, man, he started really connecting. And I started to get the idea, especially when he started connecting really solidly towards the end. Like, I thought, well, Canelo still has some in the chamber that he didn't unload. Like, even though Reynoso was telling him, like, unload. Like, I felt like he kind of unloaded, but he also didn't need to keep going and unloading. Like, that's what I saw. Team Batman Boxing, what's up, man? Hope you enjoyed the fight. We know you're over there in the UK, man. It's, it's 1 o'clock for Drewski over here, but for you, it's much earlier, dude. We appreciate you watching the fight. Nando Yamas is in the house. Nando, what's up, man? Nice to see you, bro. If you want to come in here and cook with us, dude, I'll drop this link if you want to come and, I know you could. I know I've seen you on our stream before, man. If you want to tell us what you think, you can come on in. What did you think of the current version of Canelo, guys? Like, I'll start with you, Georgie. What did you think about the current version of Canelo that we have now?
Yeah. I guess. I mean, I don't have anything bad. I don't have anything bad to say, honestly. I mean, it is a little bit old. It is an older Canelo. I mean, again, I was impressed with the performance. And maybe, I don't know, I couldn't really tell. Like, honestly, when I got after like the knockdown, I was like, damn, he's really gonna finish this before 8 or in the next few rounds is what I thought. And then he didn't. Like, he was throwing like 3-4 shots at a time. And what I really was impressed with was like Drew said, like, he wasn't getting hit, and you can see, like, it's what you want your fighter to do, right? He had his chin tucked, kind of head up, like with his eyes up, and he was catching everything on the forearms, and slipping. He did a lot of slipping. He did a lot of what we know from what Canelo does is he rolls with his punches. I mean, it's, I don't know. I don't know how to say, but I would say that if he does expect to, to have maybe three to five more fights, like, this is the way to go. Like, I don't think, yeah, man, I don't know. I guess I would have to rewatch this again, but I think off the head, like, it's yeah, I think this version of Canelo we see, like, definitely can get about three to 5 more fights. I mean, that's pretty much the way I see it. I think we can get another like 3 or 5 more fights, just depending on who's next. I know that Berlanga said he was in attendance, and he's been all over the media this whole week, looking to be the next fighter in September. And if it happens to be him, then it happens to be, that's another one of the 3 or 5 fights that he can get through. But I really have no issues with it, man. I was just as curious to see what Canelo was gonna do. here tonight, and he did very well. He didn't get hit that much. I mean, he did roll with a lot of punches. And I just think the Canelo, or this version of Canelo that we get, I think he can get him, like I said, between 3 and 5 more fights.
What do you think, Drew?
I didn't want to cut Jersey off when he mentioned Berlanga. Still no one.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Still nobody gives a fuck about Berlanga after
No.
he made this waste of a time trying to get a Canelo fight, because tell you the truth, he's not getting the fight. It's not going to sell the fight. And I think people that are trying to say, oh, the Puerto Rican Mexican rivalry, the Puerto Ricans don't think this dude has a chance. So why the fuck are we going to fucking waste the time for? Come on. I know a lot of Puerto Ricans, and they tell me, dude don't have a chance.
Well, I do know one Puerto Rican content creator says he's going to take Berlanga, and he's just going to take him. And I've got Berlanga beating Canelo, and it doesn't matter when it's going to happen. I got Berlanga. Now that's cap. This guy's picked against Canelo plenty, right? I mean, I don't really take it too seriously. Yeah, you're right. I think the Boricuas, they know what's up, right? And they respect Canelo just like we respect Puerto Rican boxers. Yeah. But Canelo is the best in his division. Dude, I liked his intro. The way he came out with all the belts, man, that was tight, bro. Like he's like, we're the guys over here, man. Like we got all the hardware, dude. I liked that intro from Canelo, dude. Pretty simple, but it looked badass, man.
But I look at it like this, man. Like the way he fought tonight, he could have finished Jaime Munguia anytime. He could have. I think he showed him mercy.
I think there was a little bit of mercy too, because at the end, dude, like Canelo just started clipping Munguia, bro. Like he just started clipping him, and I felt like he was kind of letting him off the hook a little bit. I felt like he was controlling the pace of the fight. Was okay with letting Munguia get his stuff off. One of the things I liked about this fight in particular was I felt like Canelo's jab was back. I haven't seen a jab like that from Canelo in a while, which was really nice. George, earlier we talked about that left hand. Also, the left hook was back. Also, his uppercuts were back. I feel like he was just more well-rounded with his overall offense in general, man. I liked the punch selection from Canelo. Man, it was just, he was patient. You know, he took his time. And even though he had lower volume, he had a much higher connect percentage. So I like this current version of Canelo. And it's like Canelo said, he could do whatever the hell he wants. We're going to get into that here in just a second. I got our homie, Julian. What's up, Julian?
What up? Nello. Put some respect on that man's fucking name.
That's right. The living legend, his reign continues, man. What'd you think of that fight?
Bro, I was in the first 2 rounds. I was like, all right, cool. Jaime's doing what he's doing.
Right.
But after that, bro, like I said, once that knockdown happened, it was just over. Once you started working the body, it was over. You know, so I had a good time. George, you have your rosary?
What happened for who? You think that's gonna happen, huh?
Nah, he's definitely gonna kill David Benavidez the same way, bro. Like, I honestly think that.
Well, Drew, what do you think now? I mean, you've always said Canelo takes Benavidez. Is this version of Canelo still beat Benavidez in your opinion?
I still think he does. I'll tell you the truth. I'm not even really sure that David Benavidez beats Grosdick. This version of it.
Thank you.
No, I'm going to be honest right now. Yeah, he was retired for a couple of years, but when he was a champion, he was the one that actually caused the most damage to Benavidez and everything, gave him the hardest time and everything. And he was a very accomplished fighter himself. He put Adonis Stevenson in a coma. And I'll be honest with you, I'm really nervous when it comes to Benavidez, Grosdick, because I think Grosdick skill set is still there, and I think Grosdick IQ is still there, and and he's so much bigger than David.
Yeah, it showed. I was like, holy shit. That was.
I really don't. I think David's really going to have to be keen on his footwork in this fight. To be really keen on it, because him with the volume, it's not going to do it when a guy like Grosdick, how good he is going to be able to time that volume. And This is going to be a hard fight for David. And I wouldn't be surprised if David loses this fight. If this is Grosnick when he fought Benavidez, David gets stopped. David Benavidez gets stopped. Guaranteed by him. This, I would not be surprised if Grosnick beats Benavidez there. But I still think Canelo beats Benavidez.
Oh man.
Yeah,
No,
I said
here.
the same. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, brother.
No, yeah. I mean, I've said the same thing. I said it in our little group right now. I was like, yeah, I think it'll end the same. I mean, he won't kill him, but he definitely will beat him pretty much just about the same. It will be pretty competitive for a while, and then of course the experience, man. Like it's always shown, no matter what it is, no matter who's in there, like experience is everything. And I think this is the experience. The experience will definitely show that he will be able to beat Benavidez at 175 or 168.
I think it could be the same because Benavidez is a headhunter too. And I think like the pattern is still the same way. If you look at it, Munguia and Benavidez are pattern fighters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Volume and pattern fighters. They stick with the same pattern of punches that are easy to time. Is there somebody like fighters that they fought ain't able to go against them or stay in front of them and everything, or not used to that and everything? But
they're
I
both
believe it's more
straightforward
the
fighters.
same when it comes to Benavidez because he's the same type of fighter as Munguia. The only difference is David is a lot faster than Munguia, and I think David is better fundamentally than Munguia.
Yeah, and you can see the spotlight or the moment was pretty big for Munguia early on. You could tell there was a lot of nervous energy. I could definitely see it. Like he had a game plan. As soon as the bell rang, I think he's like, okay, I got to jump on him early. So he did. He threw everything straight, jabs, and walk out a little bit. But it was definitely nervous energy. But as soon as the knockdown happened, again, like I said, I'm like, fuck, he's gonna get him the next round. But then sometimes that's what it takes, is to get hit with a clean shot or maybe get that knockdown, especially if you haven't been in that spotlight. So again, I think experience of the spotlight and experience in the ring. I think the same thing will happen with Benavidez. Like he might think he's ready for it, or he may have been to big shows in the crowd, but like when you're the one walking out in that ring and you have the ref, the ref, giving you instructions, that's when the moment hits you and you're like, holy shit, like this is it. And I think it will be big. It would be too big for him, along with the experience.
Interim championship this time. Remember that one.
Well, I do think it's funny. Before you got in here, Julian, I was saying it looks cool that Canelo was coming out there with all his belts, right? But Benavidez loves all his fucking interim belts, so he's gonna have all his interim belts. We got a very special guest,
hand man.
We got a very special guest, Nando Llamas. Nando, what's up, man? You've been drinking. You got some edibles in you. Is that what's going on? Oh, now he's got disconnected.
Shit,
he said it was gonna be
you scared him off, Chicano.
I'm the same way right now.
You got a nice fade going.
Oh yeah.
No, I gotta work in the morning. I gotta get up at 4 in the morning. So no fade, no drinking.
Come on, treat tonight like you're young again.
Bro, I'm 41, bro.
Go to work drinking. I've done it drunk before.
No, I can't do that.
I've gotten drunk before.
I can't go ahead.
I went to work drunk as shit before.
I did it once, but I would never do it again. I've also worked nights.
Give a fuck. I went to work drunk one time. I'm like this sitting there with glasses on. I'm like, yo, give me that fucking jackhammer. I got this shit. I started jackhammer drunk.
So we're talking about Benavidez, and dude, my thing is like, in the interview, like before the fight, Benavidez was saying he's going to continue to campaign at 175. Like, but he said maybe he could go back down for Canelo or something. I just don't see it being that easy. Like, oh, I'm just going to go back to 168. Like, dude, if you go to 175 and another year passes by, like say you don't get that fight in September, I don't just see you going to 168, dude. That's going to be really hard for that dude to make it once his body gets used to it.
Tough,
he's big, bro. He's a big boy. He's got big bones. And, dude, he looks like he
he's
belongs.
as tall as me, bro. Like, honestly, he's 6'1". He's pretty lanky, But, I mean, Canelo destroys that body, man. I mean, that body can't take that.
Well, I hope, I've always been a Canelo fan. I hope you're right, bro. I think it'd be a good fight. I think it's the next fight to see. JC here says, honestly, I feel like Canelo took his foot off the gas a tad. He didn't want to beat up Munguia. Did you see that, Julian? Like, I felt like I saw that a bit at the end. Crawford said the same thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that right now. Terrence said the same thing. You know, he did carry him. You know, like fuck it, why not?
I don't know, man. I mean, he said he was gonna get him out early in the 8th. Why?
Well,
why
he
didn't it
had
happen?
destroyed him the whole fight. So what was the point of that? Well, at that moment, just fucking beat his ass.
What's
Beat
the
his
point?
ass.
Why not?
But here's the thing. The one thing that pissed me off about this, Oscar took the spotlight from his fighter. He took the spotlight from that dude. This is his moment. This was his time. And all you did was make it about you, make it about your feud with Canelo and everything, man. And like I wish someone was to Oscar, yo, stay behind the scenes, man. Let this dude take his fucking spot, man. But it was just this week was all about Oscar and Canelo's feud. That's all it's about.
And Ryan.
Well,
yeah, that overshadowed thing.
It did. It really did
Ryan
overshadow
that
it,
too,
man.
yeah.
Unfortunately.
But
Dude,
I think Canelo pretty much saved the week though for a lot of people.
Dude, it was
with
fun,
that
bro. Like, it
performance.
felt like fight day, man. I went to the Carniceria. I was wearing all my fucking Canelo gear. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Nobody said anything, but they knew what was up. You know what I mean?
What'd you get? Arrachera or Diez Mil?
I went to this place. Oh, so I went to this place on I forget what the hell street it is. 22nd Street. I forget what it was. And then we had birria, we had pollo preparado, carne asada, and then like these Texas prepared ribs.
Herradero.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Good salsa there.
That's a Tucson thing.
The salsa, my girlfriend was saying that the
I think
salsa
there's
is
a
really
cowboy
good.
salsa. That one's fucking. Drew, you need to come over here to the Southwest, man.
Drew don't get on planes. Bro.
Come on.
Drew don't get on planes.
Get on a
Dave's
train.
been trying to get me to go to Vegas for a couple years now.
Just do it, bro.
I don't like those planes, man. Let me tell you something. I put my mind to something. I'm on that shit. But let's look at it like this. She kind of forgot to tell you guys earlier that if Canelo would have lost, he had to wear some Oscar De La Hoya gear.
Oh man.
The fishnet or like a shirt?
He had to wear fishnets over it.
Oh man.
Oscar De La Hoya shirt and everything. And he had to wear the face mustache that Oscar had in that music video.
Nando here said his girl made cocktail de camarones. Good for you, bro.
Damn,
Set it up real
Nando.
nice. Well, here's my thing. As far as like what's going on with Canelo in September, at the end of the fight, Canelo said, I can do it. I've been fighting all these people my whole career. I can do whatever the hell I want at this point. And I agree with him. He could do whatever the hell he wants, right? But I do think he's running out of, opponents around 168. Like, who could he fight besides Benavidez? Like, I know you don't like Berlanga, Drew, but like, what are his real options?
Gonna happen.
Here's the thing.
Berlanga and Plant should go at it better. I'll take that one.
Yeah.
What about Jaime and Benavidez?
And Plant. No, about Jaime and Plant.
I like those. I like all those fights.
I'll be honest. I think Plant beats Hyman.
I think a close fight.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it'd be close, man.
It'll be close, but I think like an 11th round type thing, like Canelo did to him.
I look at it like this. I think Hyman blasts Berlanga. I think Benavidez blasts Berlanga. I think Benavidez beats the balls off of Munguia. I think that's one side. I think that's
it is
the
Styles,
one side
definitely.
I thought Munguia looks good, man, and not everybody can just beat Munguia, bro. Like I think Munguia. I thought we saw a really good version of Munguia. Actually, man, he was ready to go. He did what he had to do. Canelo's just another level, but I mean Benavidez. I mean, I don't think he's fought an opponent better than Munguia. Like I mean, some people here think that Plant would beat Munguia. I personally don't think so, but I think it would be a fight worth watching. Stylistically, I think Plant would dance around a bit.
I look at it like this. The reason why I said that Benavidez would destroy Munguia now is because Benavidez would pump off the brakes. He would just go there and just go for the kill and just keep, because he's a younger guy. Canelo is just that old veteran guy that looks like, hey, it's not your fault. It's your promoter's fault. I'm going to let you off the hook. That's what he did tonight.
We got the YTBC legend in the house. The one and only Nopal Boxeyanos. Nopal, what's happening, man?
Hey, what up, bros?
My man.
Just out with the family over here, watch the fight. And I don't know, man.
You got the Pendleton on, Nopal?
Yeah, had to put it on for tonight.
Fuck
man.
yeah, and it's brown.
Well, actually,
10?
Them colors are weird. Sometimes they look brown.
Okay.
Sometimes they look burgundy.
Either
What'd you
way,
think of
it's
the fight?
penalty.
I gotta say, man, Munguia looks like an absolute beast, bro. That dude must have been like what? At least 185, 190? He looked as big as Kovalev. Bigger. Or was it that Canelo looked small? I don't know. But I gotta be honest. I mean, Canelo's getting old, bro. He won the fight, but I gotta see. I never seen Munguia like this, bro. Munguia like this doesn't get knocked down by anybody. I mean, Munguia like this looks like he could hang with Benavidez. You know what I'm saying?
I think so. I thought Munguia looked pretty decent.
I ain't never seen Munguia like that, bro. He looked like an animal, bro, up in there. And we had already been talking good about him, bro. The way he lands those combinations, he's up on his toes, like you said. He looked like an animal. And Canelo looked like a straight welterweight in there, bro.
It was obvious on like the size difference, man. He was big. I said the same thing. I was like, oh, and I'm watching it on my iPhone too. I'm like, damn. And I can imagine what it looked like on TV. I'm like, he looks fucking huge.
Yeah, and I don't know if you know because we talked about that, huh, George? You were like, he looks small, but it's like you never can tell with Canelo how he looks. Like he looked kind of big versus Kovalev, right? He didn't look small. Versus Cotto, he looked kind of big, right? He looked swollen. Versus Triple G, in the first fight, he looked normal. Versus Triple G in the second fight, he looked small, right? Like he lost some weight or something.
Well, he came in a little light, right? He come in at like 166.
Oh yeah, 166. That's true.
Versus Triple G?
No,
tonight.
He came in at 166?
I think so. 166.
Yeah, it was 166.
Oh, you mean for the weigh-in, huh?
Right.
Okay, so we don't know what I just know Munguia was huge, bro. Munguia's never been this size, but a Munguia this size, bro, I think he for sure beats both Charlos easily, bro. You can't do nothing to Munguia, man. He's got a good chin, stuff like that. I mean, yeah, I mean, for Canelo, bro, this is the thing, though. I mean, he's not. I don't even think he's really this weight, bro. It's like he just landed at 168. His real size is probably like 160. You know, that's where he would have stayed. You know, and that's probably where he would be the same size as everybody at 160. But at 168, if you look at all of his fights, he's always been the smaller fighter. He looks smaller than Caleb Plant by a lot, you know?
Yeah, I thought he looked huge. I'm sorry, I thought he looked huge against Jermel. Like,
I don't
He
know.
looked
I
pretty good.
thought
Hey,
Jermel looked bigger than him, you know?
Julian is Julian's rolling out, everybody. Hey, Julian, do you have any last comments, man? Anything you'd like to say before you head out, brother?
None, man. Just what did we learn tonight about Canelo? You know, like stop putting his name down, man. Like
that's right.
He's the king around here.
He's the living legend, and this summer, just like all the previous summers, Canelo's going to be a champion all summer long. Everybody wants to know about what Canelo's always going to do next, but right now we get to enjoy the summer with Canelo on top. No Diddy, right?
No Diddy,
No Diddy.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, man. Everybody have a good night, man.
All
right, man.
Julian, be safe, brother.
Appreciate y'all.
But you know who I feel bad for? I feel bad for Vito, man, because he's ending up in the closet. And he's ending up taped up in the closet with a fucking cue ball up his ass.
Oh, nasty. 92 AKU's talking mess in the chat. He's trying to cause a revolt here. He didn't like Canelo's comments about how he can do whatever the hell he wants.
No, I mean, that's true, though. Why don't you like that comment, bro? It's like, come on, man. I'm going to go to your dad's house and ask him if, you know what I'm saying? Ask your dad if he wants to mow my lawn for me. Like, your dad's going to tell me straight out. You know, I worked 70 years in the railroad business. I don't got to wake up and, you know, cut some other man's lawn. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Little Penny, what's up? Where's the bandana, bro? Come on, it's Canelo night.
Little Penny, come on, man.
Oh, it's all
Where's
right.
the
You
Pacquiao
perpetrating, bro. Where's the bandana at?
Come on, you look better with it. Will you go get it? Will you humor me? It's Canelo night.
Come on, Daniel.
Thank you, man. There we go. Let's get that
Come
bad boy
on,
on.
Daniel.
I love it when he wears the
Put
bandana,
that
man.
bandana on, Daniel.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Wax
I
on,
got
wax
this from
off.
the Mayweather Canelo fight, which is a long time ago.
Yeah. Lil Penny, what'd you think of the fight, man?
It was what I expected.
Not to cut you guys off. He needs
But
to
by
make a-
the
he needs
way,
to-
I just got off at Pro Box Boxing, man. Fucking Paulie Malignaggi, he's just a hater, man.
He's hating, huh?
Oh
He's
yeah,
hating.
I don't have to listen to know that one. I'm sure he was talking all kinds of shit.
He's like, and he's making excuses, like, you know, saying, "Oh, we've never seen Canelo fight someone that we think that like it's a 50-50 fight." Dude, BJ Saunders was like, no, I'm not saying it's a 50-50 fight. BJ Saunders and Caleb Plant were like, not dangerous, but it's especially
Stylistically
Billy
difficult.
Joe Saunders.
Yeah,
That
I,
was
I thought Billy Joe Saunders was the better of the champions at 168.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude,
Especially at that time, right?
at the
Oh yeah,
time.
Yeah,
Well,
especially at
and-
that time.
Dude, and when I watched the Callum Smith fight, I mean, everybody forgets that, dude. According to the Ring Magazine rankings, the guy was the ring champion. He was ranked number 1, right? Everybody forgets that now, right? Everybody acts like Benavidez was always like the guy to see. Wasn't always like that, man. You know, Canelo is the guy with all the hardware. He beat all the undefeated champions, right? Benavidez, well, he got his belt stripped, right? I do think that there's, you know, he does need to eventually see him, right? But I mean, you know, 92 AKU, all I could say is Canelo also said, I'll fight Benavidez. I don't give a shit if the money's right. And I think the money should be right. Like, if everybody's asking Canelo for that fight, we'll pay him. I mean, the Saudis are fucking just shelling out a bunch of money for fights his excellency wants to see. And if his excellency wants to see that fight, well, pay the money and then Canelo will get in the ring. When has Canelo ever been scared to fight anybody, dude? Like, come on, man. And dude, that Bivol fight made me nervous, bro. I remember, like, on the El Chile shows, I said, fuck, I don't know about this one, you guys. I don't just talk like that for no damn reason. Sure enough, Bivol won, right? So go ahead, Lil Penny.
I do think that coming into the fight, I thought that Canelo would win there. I do remember thinking, you know, Bivol, he doesn't have power. Coming in, I really thought that Canelo would win that fight. But Bivol surprised me. I actually picked Canelo to win that fight by unanimous decision.
Yeah, I think we all did pretty much, right? I think it was more
I had
like,
him by
okay,
stoppage.
yeah, we're just like, man, like we really don't know. Like this is the top, one of the top guys at 175. So when he did win, we weren't surprised and we weren't like, oh, cherry pick gone wrong. I definitely wasn't saying cherry pick gone wrong.
Well, I wasn't surprised. Since when he fought Kovalev, I said, hey, man, you know, these rights aren't these 175 fights aren't good for him.
No,
you know?
and
He
a
could
lot of
probably
people-
get knocked out with a jab at this weight, and you never know what's going to happen at that weight. I don't even know, frankly, I don't even know how he beat Kovalev like that. I mean, he was a top champ. That was a crazy fight. Did you guys see how much damage he actually took in that fight?
Right. And he was a long-standing, you know, and he was an actual defending champion. He lost the belt and got it back, but he was a top-ranked legend, good power still, came off a knockout win. Like, I mean, I thought that was a really good fight at the time. And a lot of people actually picked Kovalev. And at the time, everybody kind of said, oh, shit, he's going up 2 weight classes. And then everybody just kind of normalized it. But it's not easy just to go up 2 weight classes and beat a champion of that kind of caliber, right?
And then you look at a guy like Andre Ward who has it. I mean, he's on the anti-Canelo train.
I thought Kovalev won the first fight.
Yep.
Canelo's,
absolutely. But like I said, I mean, you got a guy like, what's his name, who gets mad just because Canelo wanted to fight him, immediately says it's because, you know, it ain't the same Kovalev that I beat. First of all, you never beat the Kovalev that time. You got lucky, American judging and all that. You got lucky. You didn't win that first fight. Second fight, you basically beat the guy into submission when you were, when you were negotiating that fight. You made him take less money. The dude started drinking vodka, you know, got depressed and lost to you even easier, you know.
And people forget that Andre Ward was like throwing a lot of low blows, man. Kind of like when Tito
questionable,
Trinidad,
right? It was a great area win.
Yeah,
say
like
the
Peter
least.
Trinidad used to do that too. He did it to Fernando Vargas. He did it to everybody.
Yeah,
He sure
I-
did.
And
Vargas
you
was
know, my
doing good in that
question
fight.
sometimes for these fighters is, bro, why don't you retaliate? Who cares if you get a point deducted? But you're gonna let another guy hit you like that, make you weak,
yeah.
and
It's
then
true.
why don't you retaliate, man? It's just like,
And do what Zab Judah did
yeah,
to Mayweather. Remember?
Yeah, my uncle used to train. I hate to bring this up because I'm not trying to brag or anything, but like my uncle used to train Terry Norris, and that was one of the things he said. I mean, if you're in the chat, you probably see me say it like 356 times that my uncle trained Terry Norris. So, but
is your uncle what's his name?
No.
Abel Sanchez?
Rudy Elias, no, not
Oh.
Sanchez. He got him after Sanchez. You can look him
Oh.
up. Rudy Elias. He's trained a couple other fighters, but like his big one was Terry Norris, with the Simon Brown rematch. But his thing was, look at, hit them once in the balls, they don't catch it. Okay, cool. Because you think about it, if you watch a lot of fighting, a lot of inside fighting, there's not just balls hitting. There's like, grabbing behind the neck, doing these little quick jerk moves, like behind your arm, behind your neck, brushing the glove across your face. Yeah, you're right. Nando Pavlik was really known for that too. I do remember that about Pavlik, but he always said, look at you. Get caught once hitting the balls, like, okay, sorry. It wasn't even a verbal warning. Second time, boom, okay, here's your hard warning. Boom, 1 point. All right, fuck it, cool. Like I lost that round. I've always said the same thing. Like, why don't you? But I get it. Like if you feel like gamesmanship, or you're trying to be a sports, a good sport, whatever. But I mean, it's fighting. This isn't let's thumb war or whatever, but it's fighting. It's fighting. Elbows get hit.
I'm guessing Russian fighters don't they probably don't know that sort of what do you call it? It's like like that gangster type of that style. They just go out there and fundamentally sound. You know what I mean? They don't know all that kind of stuff, which is
Wait,
good.
what's a gangster style? I've never heard this before.
Taking
no mess.
That Midwest type, like from Michigan types, those style where like they put like gloves on your face and like.
Just say it, little Penny.
Like meet me in the middle.
You guys know what I mean?
I'm gonna do
from Michigan. Got it.
I'm gonna do you three up there, Phil. Don't Penny, take that fucking headband off.
No.
You
got the pass today, Penny. You got a pass.
No, dude, I love it when he wears that bandana. Okay, so Nando here says, and he's arguing with 92 Aku, right? He says Triple G was the exact same age as Kelly Pavlik, Hopkins, Winky, Taylor, Kazagi were. And I gotta say, dude, now people are trying to act like Triple G was all old. I'm like, dude, Crawford was 35 when he got in the ring with Spence, right?
The third fight, he was old, not the first and second.
Not the first fight, no. And then on top of that, dude, okay, Bivol's finally gonna face Better Beef, right? But the only reason he's gonna fight him is because of all that Saudi money. We probably wouldn't have gotten that fight otherwise, dude. And how long have we been waiting for that fight? Years and years. And Better Beef, now that he got injured, he's gonna be over 40 if they do meet, dude. His 40th birthday's in January, right? But all of a sudden, we got to go back to criticizing Canelo about what happened. Like, how many years ago was that shit? Like, I mean, so I don't know. 92K, you might be trolling. Like, I'm so past this. Like, we don't. I mean, who are we comparing? Like, okay, so he says, I just want the best to fight the best. Well, 92 Aku, I would love that too if it was standard across the board, but it's not. But it's always dependent on Canelo.
Now,
right?
They're fighting. They are because of the Saudis.
Exactly. So if the Saudis want to pay for Canelo versus Benavidez. Canelo versus Benavidez, great. Canelo said, I'll do it if the money's right. And he deserves the biggest payday, in my opinion, for that fight because it is a hot fight.
And it can happen now, right? There's no excuse why Benavidez can't come over to Saudi. Like that was, if you guys saw the interviews, like I would love to, but I have, I have my hands tied with PBC and my advisor. Now look at their PBC is with, they're on the August 3rd fight. I mean, there's like pretty much the whole card is all PBC guys, so no excuses whatsoever.
Yeah, and that happened pretty fast. Like all of a sudden they were talking with PBC, and all of a sudden like they're all lined up with fights. And I know those guys are eager to get in the ring and make those big paychecks. Because I wouldn't be surprised if he lightweight bought out PBC. Who knows? I mean, it's amazing.
They have no choice to work with the Saudis now. They're flat out broke, most likely, without anybody helping them. Because, tell you the truth, you let Al run the show by himself, he'll be on Amazon Prime before the year's over with fucking pay-per-views. That fights are not supposed to be on pay-per-views. Like, let his fighters go to the Saudis. Get a cut out of the fucking profits of his fighters going over there and everything. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Make money for the PBC.
Yeah, it seems like they hear everybody talking, right? I'm sure they're probably not watching every channel, but I'm sure that he has, people that are on social media listening to what everybody's saying. And I'm sure that was one of the big ones, I think, the PBC thing. And like Chicano said, look, literally like not even 2 weeks later, a week later, there it is. Like
PBC does Amazon doesn't have a budget with PBC.
No, because they
all of their shows are pay-per-view.
All the shows are funded by PBC themselves. They don't fund none of their fucking production shit.
Oh, okay. Speaking of production, okay, and I'm not trying to shame anybody here, okay? No shame. Okay, did anybody buy the DAZN pay-per-view here?
Fuck no.
Okay. Well, I bought the PBC pay-per-view because it has replayability, okay? I paid a little bit more because it's got replayability. But, dude, I thought the commentary was good. I thought the production was good. On top of that, too, man, there were no commercials in the middle of the fight. Like, I got to see the corner work, got to see the replays. It felt like an old-school Showtime fight. Like, it was great.
I do think that the gloves are off with the Canelo Munguia. I think it only had 2 episodes. I thought that it was good, right? Because I know sometimes they don't do that. So having 2 was good. But when I looked at it, I thought that it didn't have that buzz where it made me click on the remote control. Okay, I'm buying this, because they were talking about their families and like when you put in like HBO 24/7 or All Access, you gotta get the fans hyped up. Like put in music or some music in the background. If you want to talk about family and stuff, I don't know, do slow motion or something. I don't know, man. Like do something. Like for example, like I'll give an example when Pac was like.
He's like, at least talk about the Bible, bro.
Yeah, like, he was like, he's religious, like, he did the Christian thing, and then in the background, he's got music where he's going to kill his Mosley and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like do something, dude. Like, but when you talk about family, like, man, I don't want to cry. I want to be hyped up so I can buy this fight. Like, I'm still going to watch it, but it didn't seem like, I don't know, the production team seems like they're coming from like a showbiz. Like, it's not supposed to be about showbiz. It's supposed to be about the fight. You guys know what I mean?
That's
Go
true.
ahead, Lil Penny.
Yeah.
If you want to be
Good
racist,
for
you.
then we give you a pass right now.
And
Go
this
for
is
it.
Little Penny's
You got the
talk
bandana
about-
on.
We want you to be racist, man. Come on.
Gangster style, this kind of stuff.
We
Little
already
Penny's
know
on
you're
one,
not
man.
the
racist, bro.
West.
Go for
Yo,
it.
and this is Little Penny's Pacquiao Words of Wisdom for the day.
Oh, man.
But do you guys remember those HBO 24/7? Like, they
Those were
used to-
good.
They made more sense than this one.
Yeah, but they used to also grab music from people who are relevant now, and then they'll put it on the background. Especially the Mayweather ones. The Mayweather 24/7, they were really good.
Yeah,
until
Lee Schreiber.
Mayweather wanted to be the producer and he wanted to like run it himself. Dude, you gotta let those guys do it, right? You provide the content, but then let them pick. Because if you pick them yourself, it's like it's too. Like, for example, when I watched that Guerrero Mayweather, it was all about Mayweather. It's like, dude, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. You're right, man, bro.
What was the Haney and Garcia? I mean,
Damn
I
right.
know how to
there were
leave.
none. There was none.
There was none.
No.
Well, see, I didn't
Garcia's
buy
at a
that
different
one.
level, though, huh? Of
Apparently, that pay-per-view did 1.5 million pay-per-view buys. Is
no
that
way.
right?
They haven't even released the numbers, though, huh? It might be like 100,000.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Drew said.
Usually, when the
250K.
pay-per-view is successful, say above 800,000, the promoter usually says it up front. But when they don't, that means that it probably did less than 800,000.
So wait, I got a conspiracy for you guys. A quick one.
Yeah, bring it.
I
All
know
right.
you guys want to hear this one.
I'm
Check
down. Let's
this
do it.
out, bro. In the U.S., when you got all these people watching the Fire Stick and all that, I got a conspiracy, bro. I think the PBC figured out a way to charge the government for the views, that they're
Like a
losing.
subsidy.
And that's why they keep, when they like Tank Davis, they keep saying, "Oh man, he sold 100,000, a million pay-per-views," or fake ass numbers, right?
Or maybe Ryan is thinking
I
that
gotta
the
say
pay-per-view
this.
did 1.5 million pay-per-view buys worldwide. Because usually us,
I
Yeah.
just gotta say
we
this.
usually, when we say pay-per-view, we usually just mention North
And that's where my
American
conspiracy
pay-per-view.
is going, Lil Penny.
But you know what?
If you look at it, DAZN is like worldwide, right?
Yeah.
PBC, they're just thinking about whatever's local in the U.S. So
You
maybe
know
they're
what?
only concerned about right here for a reason.
Well-
because maybe they found a way to write off the losses that they're getting.
Because I'll give
And
you
if you look at all of boxing, it seems like it's just these big ballers that are trying to funnel their money somehow. They're just trying to like, you got all
Watch
these
it.
fools that are making money illegally, and they're just trying to. They don't care if they lose a little bit of money, bro. They
Well,
just want to
You know what?
Because
at
when-
least
because
break
when
out
you want to
even,
compare,
at least.
because
you
when
know?
you want to compare pay-per-view, you got to do it like for like. Like, for example, if Ryan Garcia says, okay, he did 1.5 million pay-per-view buys, that's worldwide, right?
Yeah.
But remember when Pac fought Hatton, they said it
Mhm.
did 850 pay-per-view buys.
Yeah.
But in Britain, it did 1.2 million pay-per-view buys.
Wow.
I'm not even including the rest of the world, just Britain itself. So North America and Britain, it did 2 million pay-per-view buys, but people remember as it did 850. Mayweather Hatton, it did 950, but in Britain, it did 1.7 million pay-per-view buys, right?
Wow.
Oh, separately, right?
Separately. Yeah, separately. So if you want to compare apples for apples, then-
Don't tell that fucking apples and oranges, apples bullshit.
I mean, you can't
Jesus
say he did
Christ.
1.5 million and he
Who
only
had a bad experience when he was
Yeah,
a kid
tell
with
me
the apples.
about it.
but you can't say he did 1.7 million or 1.5 million, and then you compare it, like, for example, you got to compare a fair like for like. You know what I mean? So
I didn't
probably
even know
only
that was
really-
going on, bro. I thought that DAZN was putting the shit together. You know what I mean? Like, I thought they were just keeping the shit straight, because I do know that the pay-per-view buys outside of the US, they're a lot cheaper, right?
Yeah,
In
it
the
is,
UK,
it
you
is.
can get them for like $10,
In England, I think it's only like 20 quid or something, which is like
which is what, like
$35
$25?
or something like that. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's cheaper. But also, I just want to make a quick comment about Ryan Garcia. That guy's a cheat, man.
Well, let's
He's
get
a
into that
cheat.
in a second, because that's a whole other
Okay.
subject. But I want to give a warm welcome to the one and only Maestro who's down there. Hey, man, I don't know if you're busy. I don't know if you're covering a fight. I know it's late in New York. I don't know where you are. You might be in Vegas.
He's in
You
Las
should cover his
Vegas.
fights. Oh, he's in Vegas? Okay, well, I don't expect you to
Well-
pop in there, but I want to say what's up to my homie Maestro, man.
Life
yeah.
Maybe Maestro is busy.
I'm sure he is. But here's the thing. Nando makes a good. Well, actually, I want to touch base on what Nando said real quick before we get into anything else. Okay, so Nando here says that the DAZN had Ariel Helwani, Sean Porter, and the Black English dude for commentary. All right, so Mannix, Mora, and Grisham. You know, Sean Porter really bugs me. Okay, I was listening to what's his name, Keith Thurman. He was doing the preliminary undercard commentary. I thought it was great, bro. He was sitting there calling the
That was
fight.
good.
Yeah,
Good.
I
Good
really
call.
liked it. Because, like, Sean Porter, I didn't listen to that, thank God.
Nah,
But, you know, I hope he wasn't doing this whole, this fighter needs to be doing this. This fighter needs to be doing this. Oh, you're going to see this next. He needs to be doing this. It's like, Sean Porter, like, you were kind of one-dimensional, and you were never that guy,
I
bro.
would love to
Yeah.
see him give his own commentary
Who-
on his own fights. Huh?
I would too, bro, because you were never that guy. Quit acting like you were a perfect fighter.
Like,
Like,
man,
you
dude, I
call.
should have did this, bro. But you know what? I don't even have the ability to do that. So what am I talking about, huh?
that's what I'm talking about, dude. So Maestro
Yeah,
says he's in
Thurman's
bed.
good. He can talk. He can talk.
And he can dress real sharp, huh?
Whatever. He's
He has
okay.
his own
Yeah.
clothing line.
Nice tie, huh? His tie is
His
freaking
bow
wider
ties.
than his
He got to bring his flute though.
Oh.
flute.
Oh yeah, no, dude. I think Thurman. I think he could be really good. Like I wouldn't mind hearing him
Nice.
again. And we get it, Maestro. Man, it's late, dude. Yeah, dude. And I'm sure that, you know, it was. Did you? I don't know if you did. Do you know if he went to the fight, Maestro? If you're there, let us know if you went to the fight.
He did.
Oh, great. Well, good,
Dude,
man.
Maestro needs to show us his man cave, bro, because I know he's got some little penny gear right there.
I think he's
Autograph, bro.
I think he got a press. What do you call it? Like a press pass.
Press pass, huh?
Yeah.
Dude, good for him, man. Getting credentials, checking out that fight. You know,
Yeah,
I know he's been to
I'll
at
tell
least
you
one
guys
Canelo
this right
fight.
now. Look at Little Penny's man cave. Just 3 photos.
Yeah, dude. Hey, Little Penny, give us a little tour. What do you got in the back?
Come
Give us a
on,
little
man.
tour.
You know
What
Lil
is this?
Penny's an accountant, bro. He got
I got,
all gear.
Oh,
We got Mayweather there too.
Oh,
And
nice,
Oh,
nice.
okay.
Showing respect.
Tupac, Biggie.
Is that Sports Illustrated?
No. It's
No?
just
Oh, okay.
probably
There's
an
like a forced
illegal,
illustrated
probably an
card.
illegal photo that someone's profiting, and I bought it off them.
eBay,
Swap
huh?
meet.
eBay.
Swap meet.
What photos
He
You
are
don't
behind?
want to say
overpaid
because
for
you don't
it.
want
In
to get
other
Lil
words,
Penny in trouble, man. Come on, man. The law is
he
real stringent
overpaid for it. In other words, Come
over
on.
there. Huh?
Hey, what posters are behind you, Lil Penny? What do you got there?
So I
You
got
don't want.
Manny.
Come on, man. Don't press
I got
him no
Manny,
more, man.
Manny, Nonito Donaire, Bruno Mars, Pia Wurtzbach, and Catriona Gray, which are all Filipinos.
Oh, you gotta get his autograph, Bruno Mars. He owns the casino, $50 million.
Oh yeah, the Manny one is autographed. The Manny and the Floyd Mayweather one's autographed too, but it's not. I don't have a certification. It's
You know-
probably a
Oh,
copy.
yeah.
My favorite Filipino artist is probably that dude from Black Eyed Peas.
Oh yeah, he's Filipino. Bruno
Oh, you
Mars
know-
is Filipino too.
Dude, when I saw my first fight was Canelo versus Barra 2, and
He walked him.
he walked him out doing that Filipino. Yeah, man,
Yeah.
it was cool.
They always have that song. The best one is Puerto Rico. Whoa, Puerto Rico.
yeah.
Because I
That
went to the
Nina
went to
Mars.
the Qatar,
Wait. Nina
Sergio
Sky.
Martinez.
Nina Mars.
Sergio Martinez fight, and they were putting that music on, and it turned the crowd on at Madison Square Garden because a lot of Puerto Ricans are in New York City. That's a good song too. In Puerto Rico.
Dude, okay, so Nando here's talking about the fight in LA. I know I'm trying to go. Maestro looks like he's trying to go. Nando's going to be there. He says drinks are on him first round. I'm going to hold him to it, but it's his
First
birthday.
round.
So
Hey,
Like
they should've
70
put that-
dudes there, huh?
They should have put that fight in the new
First
stadium.
round on Nando. Huh?
They should have put that fight in the new
They're like
stadium.
$10 each, bro. That's $7,000 right there.
Hey, they should have put that fight in the new stadium where the LA Clippers are playing, because that stadium is state of the art. I don't know why. And that stadium holds 20,000.
What about the Rams one, the SoFi? The Rams
Yeah,
and Chargers.
even better.
That's a new one.
Yeah, that could hold what, 70,000 or something?
I'm not sure, but let's go Chargers. They fucking suck right now.
Lil
Sorry.
Penny, you going to come to LA and meet up with us and watch the fight or what?
Nah, man, I got a mortgage, dude. I can't. What? My boxing attendance it will be absent for the next 10, 15 years because I got a mortgage, man. I got to pay it off, man. So I got to be responsible.
That's fair, man. You got to do what you got to do. Look, I know we've got some comments here about the stadium. He goes, get those tickets in the south or west sections because you'll be sitting in the sun. All right, good to know.
Isn't that at night?
Wait a minute, I thought it was at Staples. Where's this fight going to be?
No, it's at soccer stadium.
Oh shit! All right, well that's good to know. Then I didn't know that.
I think it's the what's it called? Where you remember the StubHub? Not the small one, the big one. Isn't that where that is?
I'm not too familiar.
It's the BMO Stadium in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it's a soccer stadium.
BMO.
Where the LA Galaxy play. That's where that card is.
Wow, the LA guys.
It always impresses me how much Lil Penny knows about like Americana. He knows about our government, about our teams.
Hey, he knows
all
about
this
some other
shit.
stuff, huh?
Yeah, he knows about other stuff too, man.
Hey, you know what's fucked up?
Niners.
He probably don't give a shit about his own government.
What's going on with your rugby? You guys got a rugby team, right, in New Zealand?
Yeah, rugby.
You guys, they do the dance and shit, right? Or wait, is that New Zealand?
The haka.
That Tongan dance.
The haka.
Yeah, there we go. How are they doing?
Yeah, they're okay. I'm not really I'm more of an NFL fan because when I was growing up, I grew up with like Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson. So and hip hop, you know what I mean? And I grew up with like Jerry Rice and those guys because we had cable. So I grew up with Blackstreet and those guys. What do you call them? Like
have you grown up with Diddy?
Hey man, look, he was pretty good. Look.
At the time, I know Georgie had a cassette of P. Diddy in the family, right, Georgie?
Chicano, I don't want to get you canceled, right?
Exactly.
But Diddy, like he came from a poor family. He built up a musical business empire, built up a fashion empire, became a billionaire, and his exit strategy is human trafficking. That doesn't make sense to me. That doesn't make sense. Like,
well, you know what? Here's the thing. You know what? I think if you have everything right at arm's reach, eventually you start getting desensitized. You start needing some weirder shit to get off. That's what I think.
Little
I don't know if you guys are.
Side.
Oh, so go ahead, Drew. Go ahead.
Look on the bright side, little Penny. R. Kelly did the same thing, except for he was pissing on girls.
Yeah.
Hey,
no,
it looks. Hey, it all makes sense though, bro. If you look at Oscar De La Hoya, right?
Yeah, I agree with you
uh,
on the R. Kelly one, right? But let's get when R. Kelly was producing Aaliyah had her best music. If you compare Aaliyah's records from when R. Kelly was producing her and when he wasn't, it's like night and day, right? So I do agree that he probably did do that kind of stuff, but you also got to separate the art. It's kind of like
From the
Michael
video.
Jackson.
Well, if you separate the art
Separate it.
objectively, I think R. Kelly's got a great voice. Dude, about 10 years ago, I for the first time I heard that one song. It was a remix like that. You know that "Step in the Name of Love." You know that song I'm talking about? That's a good little
Yeah.
song right there, man.
Yeah.
You
He
can
had a
dance to
lot
that
of
one,
great
you know?
songs. He had a lot of like nightclub song, like Vibe as well. I don't know if you remember Vibe. You got that vibe. That vibe.
You
Vaguely.
ain't nothing but a G.
Look at Adrian Ramirez. Welcome. He's actually trying to talk about the fight, y'all. We're here fucking talking about
Sorry.
R. Kelly, and no, it's all right.
Drop the
I went
link,
there
bro.
too.
Drop the link. No.
Yeah, no.
Hey,
Hey, I
what
was
was the
surprised.
name?
I was surprised that Canelo dropped Munguia. I thought Munguia's chin would hold up. I was surprised that he knocked him down. Were you guys
That's the first
surprised
time
or
he's
you
been
weren't?
knocked down, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad it happened when it did, dude. I think it happened at the right time, bro. Because I was sitting there going like, "Oh fuck, was Canelo gonna do something?" You know, and sure enough, bam, hit him on the body
Hey,
on the
man,
way down. It was great.
You gotta put that respect on his effing name, man. You know what I mean?
You know what? You knocked it down. Say, take that, you fucking Oscar, you crock espresso.
Yeah,
Donna says
like
they
I
used
said,
to
I
move
think
houses. Rich folks didn't tip nothing. A single mom would tip more. Not that I would take it. Well, okay, dude. I used to do wine tours, bro, and
Oh.
the rich people were the ones not tipping. They would never tip. It's
Oh,
the people
yeah,
that
they
were
never
like
do.
middle class or lower. That
Oh
would tip
yeah,
really good.
yeah, dude.
That's
When I
very
was in
true.
New York, right? There's I come from a country that doesn't tip, right? So I actually ran out of money when I was in New York because I was tipping people, right? But when I was in restaurants and stuff like that, there were people that weren't tipping, and it made the waitress or the waiter like sad. Like there are in Manhattan, I'm talking about, like, man, like, you know, that and coming from a non-tipping country, I was thinking, man, that's bad, because I think Americans, like those people who work in that workforce, they get paid a really low base because they're expecting people to tip them, to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Hey Siri, what are the non-tipping countries in the world?
You know who doesn't tip? Actually, I don't want to get racial.
England,
Uh,
Australia, New Zealand,
I don't know about their country, but you know who does? Never mind.
we don't tip.
oh, do we gotta go private, Chicano?
No, I'm not gonna go
We don't
private
tip
on
you,
it.
man.
But you know, it can't be a cultural thing. But you know, the other thing too is like I remember like now when it's like I see tip recommendations, they're like starting at 20%. Like when I was young, it used to be
Now
like
it's 10.
15% was like the standard, or it used to be like double the tax. That's what you'd say in California, right? To tip, double the tax. You know,
But Nando is right though. Rich people, they don't tip at all. Like I even when I went back home, so from my my hotel, which is Hotel Pennsylvania, to JFK, I was talking to the taxi driver. He says the same thing. The rich people in Manhattan, they hardly tip. You have to ask them. Whereas the middle class, us, we tip 10-15%.
Yeah,
I try
would
to
say-
play it forward.
Yeah, I used to drive chauffeur right here in Tucson. I don't know if you heard him, Chicano. They're called Integrity, and we used to chauffeur rich people from the airport to like Canyon Ranch. Look up Canyon Ranch. Look up Maryville, and like we have rich like celebrities that we pick up from the airport, drive them to these resorts, and you can tell who the rich people were and the people that eventually got rich. Like the ones that got rich understood what you know, the tipping thing, you know,
Yes.
like, okay, I understand, like this guy
Yeah.
isn't making money, so they tip. The rich people, man, I mean, I hope there's no rich people listening right now, but my experiences, yeah, they're usually the rude ones. They're rude,
Yeah.
like, you know, impolite, no manners, and definitely no, and not that I'm expecting tips, but if you give me a tip, right, cool. But then, like I said, I did it for 2 years, and I got to see the two type of people that tip. You had the people that were born rich, and then you had the people that worked from wherever they were middle class to become rich, and those were your tippers. Those were like they made you feel they felt like regular people that you meet on a daily basis, on your side of town. But
Yeah.
that's my experience.
I used to work for a stockbroking firm, right? Man, some of the people that I work with who were born rich, man, they used to like put their feet on the table and stuff. Like, because I don't know if you guys have worked in an office, you work in cubicles and stuff, so it's not like you have your own private room. Some of those people, they'll put their like feet on the table and like they would like yell at people for no reason because they've got a lower not only life status but in the company as well. They would treat people like shit and stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's like I'm guessing in Manhattan it's the same thing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went from talking boxing to PD and R. Kelly, now to rich people.
I know. Lil Penny, what did you think of the current form of Canelo? I mean, did I already ask you that? I don't think you were here. When we talked
No,
about
you
that.
haven't. No, I think I've always thought that Munguia was tailor-made for Canelo. I reckon Canelo is in the downside of his career. I think he's in that, like when Pacquiao was 2015 and then moving forward where he wasn't knocking out people anymore. Because I think Canelo hasn't knocked anyone out for his last 4 or 5 fights. I think he's just cruising because he knows that he's on the back end of his career and he just, he wants to keep getting the paydays, obviously. He doesn't take as much risks anymore. Like
Payday.
Yeah, payday, yeah. I think this Benavidez fight, this will really test where Canelo's at. I'm going for Canelo, but I think Benavidez might beat him up to the point where he might win, but like he might get old. Not get old overnight, but he might get old maybe 2 or 3 fights later. Because I think Benavidez is going to beat him up. Although
it's going to physically tax him for sure.
Yeah. It's a tax. Yeah. Because Benavidez is so big and he's so busy. I think that also that's the reason why he didn't also rematch Bivol, because Bivol is big, because he might get beaten up again. Like I do think that he got beaten up against Bivol, not beaten up to the point where he got like wobbled or anything, but he just took a lot of punishment because those punches were getting through.
Penny was more of a fundamental beatdown.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
I don't think it was exact. That's a better way to put it. I don't know if he thinks that Canelo's in his Mayweather in the ring level now. I think so. And you know what? I think he could do whatever the hell he wants, as far as I'm concerned. Like, say you're Canelo, right? And you've worked hard, and you're worth almost $500 million. Okay, you're worth like 300.
I disagree with that, bro. Because
hold on, I'm trying to finish my point.
Yeah, okay.
My point is, this is a business, right? And he's got nothing to prove to anybody. Yes, I want to see the Benavidez fight. All I'm saying is, like, yeah, make it worth it. If everybody's salivating for this fight, make it worth it, dude. Make your money right now. Like, he's in his money-making era. His legacy is already well established. Like, I think Benavidez would be like a nice bow on his legacy. But that's about it, and that would remain to be seen. So, like, I want to see the fight, but I want Canelo to get paid for it. That's all I'm saying. So if the money's not right, if he wants to take, the scenic route, I say fuck it. That's what I say. Go ahead, Lil Penny.
No, I completely disagree. If he was like a normal fighter, like I don't know, like Munguia or like a Berlanga, yeah, fine, do that. But because he's the number one cash cow of boxing and he's in the top 5 pound per pound list, I think he's got a responsibility to fight the best of the best, like his predecessors, like Pacquiao, like De La Hoya, like Chavez, like Morales, like Barrera, like Marquez, or like Sugar Ray Leonard. He's in that space, right? So if he doesn't like fight Benavidez next, he's gonna get called out by boxing fans who used to watch boxing in the 80s, 70s, 90s, and 2000s because he belongs in that group. Now, if he didn't belong in that group, fine. If you're like, say, Amir Khan or something, or like guys like Kell Brook, yeah, fine. Okay, fine. But he's not in that level. He's in that level where we talk about the greats, So
good thing, Penny. Good thing, Penny. No one told you to take that fucking headband off yet.
Hey,
disagree with that.
you lay off Lil Penny, okay? Here's my
Hey, he's
thing.
the one that fucking talked bad about Canelo. I disagree
Nah,
with
you know what?
Canelo and say, I'm trying to help you guys out.
I can't say that I disagree with a lot of what you said, Little Penny, right?
See?
He should fight Benavidez. All I'm saying is he needs to get paid for it, and if not, then he needs to take the scenic route until that fight's ready. He's in.
I think if the Saudis aren't there, Chicano, and if they fought at pay-per-view level, like at what do you call it, Amazon or whatever, I think he'll do well. I don't think he needs the Saudis, man, because he's a draw.
He doesn't need them, but they pay a lot of money, bro.
They do.
Look at what Fury's making. Fucking crazy, dude.
He's gonna need the Saudis, because tell you the truth, if you look at it like this, PBC is misjudging prices on their pay-per-views. And yet he'll make his money and everything, but he won't make the pay-per-view difference because they'll lose money if they make it another $90 pay-per-view and the thing don't even clear 600,000 or 700,000. The gate would be good for sure, but you still got to get a good amount of buys to at least break even. And if you don't break even, at least he ain't making no money off the pay-per-view revenue. So
that
you
one
need
would.
the Saudis to have that extra money and everything.
I think that one would either with or without the Saudi money. I mean,
if they have it at $60, that pay-per-view card does 1 million pay-per-view buys, and they will make money to PBC off that card and everything, and everybody be happy because Canelo will take a little profit of that pay-per-view sale. Benavidez would be happy with what his little bit that he gets. He got to fight Canelo and got his ass kicked and everything.
But I think the Saudis have got to understand that if you're going to pay these boxers up front, don't put these fights on pay-per-view. Dude, you're paying Fury 50 million already. Don't put it on pay-per-view. Just put it on normal DAZN or normal Sky.
But here's the thing, Penny.
Everyone, because you're already paying the upfront money, the guaranteed. No need to put it on pay-per-view.
But here's the thing. They at least want to make somewhat a profit on the money that they're giving away to these fighters.
Oh, the Saudis don't care about that,
man. They don't care. But to tell you the truth, you still want to let people know that you're still trying to at least make a profit and everything. At least make some money off this. You're not gonna fucking I'm gonna fucking throw this money away for nothing, even though they are and they don't give a fuck at the end of the day. But it's like this. They're going to do it, but they're not going to overcharge you for that. Like that Day of Reckoning card, that was only $40 in the US.
That's good.
This card, this Fury card, or this next pay-per-view that the Saudis do, is likely going to be $40. The Saudis are the one that makes the price for $40 to make it more affordable to the.
Oh, even Drew, if the Saudis are paying it up front, why don't you make the pay-per-view like $24.99 or something like that? Like, because just to make it more appealing to people. The pay-per-views used to cost that much. Remember in the 90s?
Those are the good old days. One thing, Little Penny, is I gotta say, I did like the fact that when you're saying you feel that Canelo should feel compelled to fight the best of the best because he's pound for pound. Sure. But you're comparing him to like generational greats, and Canelo is a generational great, right? But if you look at his peers, like I don't know, man, like, are the top 5 always just fighting the best? I don't know about that one.
His peers aren't in Canelo's level though. When you're the top guy, like he's like in that Kobe Bryant, like the Michael Jordan like type, like in that. I'm not saying he's the best, he's the GOAT or anything, but he's at that level where we expect him to lead by example. Like I'm not talking about like guys like Munguia. Like if Munguia doesn't want to fight the best of the best, it's fine. Like we don't care because no one expects him to. He's not on the pound for pound list. He's not a cash cow. Yeah. But if you're the cash cow and you're the one that controls everything, and you charging us $60 or $80 or what Drew's saying, dude, you gotta fight the best of the best, man. Because we went through with Mayweather where he's cherry picking. We don't want to go through that again. Thank God the Saudis have broken that cherry picking mentality.
That mold, huh?
Well,
yeah.
I want to see the fight too, bro. Nothing wrong with you wanting to see the fight. I think it's intriguing. The way you see it, I kind of see it the same way. I thought for a long time that Canelo would beat Benavidez And then I thought, okay, well, now it's a little close. I'm not so sure. Canelo's getting older. Benavidez is looking
You know my
good.
thing, Chicano,
Huh.
and it was a great time to break in, kind of like butt in a little bit. My thing is this, and now I sound like Floyd Sr., but anyways, my thing is this, man. Check this out. I mean, okay, got to fight Benavidez, right? But then, okay, let's just have for just Benavidez happens to win, right? And then he's like, oh well, Benavidez, what are you gonna do next? Oh man, I gotta see what my promoter says, man. I think he
Going to
wants me to fight
Disneyland.
Boots Ennis.
Well,
You know what I mean?
that's a great point. They look at
That's what I'm
Benavidez.
saying.
He
It's like,
wants the top guy. He
do
wants the
you-
top guy. You know, but
Yeah.
then he goes to 175 and he fights a bottom 10,
I
bottom
mean,
of the
it
bottom of the
ain't
10.
gonna feel
And he
good
gets
for you to
credit
lose
for it.
to
He gets
a
a
cocksucker
pass.
that don't want to do anything with his career, right? That just says that all you want to do is do whatever your promoter says. Canelo, a long time ago, bro, we're talking like 10 years ago, he was already standing up to his promoter. He was already telling him, okay, I want to fight Lara. I don't care if you don't want to you don't want to let me fight him. He's been doing stuff like that. This other dude, all he says is, and they asked him real simply, hey bro, what if Canelo said, I want you to, I'm down to fight you, but let's do it on his own. The other guy started chuckling and said, no, man.
Yeah, I agree. I
gotta
agree.
be whatever. I gotta be loyal to my promote. Well, if you gotta be loyal to somebody, why doesn't the other guy who's worth 10 times more than you, why don't you give him the benefit? Let him be loyal. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, I agree. The fact that he fought Lara and Trout and Mayweather when no one expected him to fight them because the dangerous fights, especially the Mayweather one at his age, he was like a baby back then. That's the fight that I went to, right? So he's earned a couple of like these tune-ups, but we because he's at that level, we can't expect him to keep on doing it like what Mayweather used to do, right? Now, Benavidez, if he does that, it's fine because he's not at that level. But Canelo is in a different level. He's in the echelon.
So you, and that's what Nando here is saying. He said Morrell threw down Benavidez's punk card last year. What happened? That's right. Morrell wanted to smoke, and I do think Morrell is a badass, and I think he's a top 5 easy. And Benavidez left. So you're saying that you expect Canelo to hold a standard that you don't expect from Benavidez? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because Canelo is in a
here's the crazy
level.
Morrell,
and he gets paid for that.
At the 175.
Yeah, he went up to 175.
Well, hey, and if you say that he gets paid for that, accordingly too, bro, is if you want him to take a loss, he's got to get paid a little more than usual.
No, I don't want him to take a loss. I want him to fight the best of the best because his peers who are also on that same level did it as well.
Who are we talking about? His peers? Are we talking about Floyd?
Yeah, who are we talking? You're talking about?
No. I'm talking about the pound for pound peers, like not Floyd, not Pacquiao, De La Hoya, Chavez, Sugar Ray Leonard, those guys.
Because we look at guys like De La Hoya, and we're like, well, man, you could have had a better record if you would have maneuvered a little better. I mean, that fight with Floyd, you could have actually won that if.
Yeah. That was a close fight. Look, you could tell. You can say anything about De La Hoya about what he does off the ring, but in the ring, dude, that guy fought everybody. Even
you know what?
That Fernando Vargas fight, he had a 1.5 year layoff. No tune-up fight. Went straight to it. Right, went straight to Fernando Vargas. And he annihilated him. And Fernando Vargas also got caught cheating.
But it seemed like De La Hoya was on a suicide mission, bro. He likes to punish himself, bro, in more ways than one.
And he fought Mayweather when Mayweather was in his prime.
But here's the thing.
And he almost whooped his ass. I think he could have gotten a 7-5 decision on that.
Do you want to know what Oscar De La Hoya did in his career? Not beat one guy in his generation.
Come on.
That was actually a top talent.
Who? Oscar?
I thought he beat Tito Trinidad. I thought he beat Tito Trinidad.
Hopkins, the top names. He didn't beat Shane Mosley. He didn't.
I thought he won Triple G. Or we're talking about
the rematch.
Oscar,
I thought he won the rematch, the Mosley fight. He lost the first fight. I thought he won the rematch.
He beat Whitaker, who was wasn't he? He was pound for pound and the lineal champ.
That was all in his career. I'm talking about the guys that were solidifying his era. in his era, in like his generation right there. Now Whitaker was in the generation before that. That was at the end of his career.
He was only like 34, I think, right?
And I'll tell you the truth.
I thought he beat Mosley.
Canelo Whitaker. I didn't think he beat Felix Sturm.
He did beat Felix Sturm.
Dude, I think he blasted Felix Sturm out, bro.
Whatever, no ball. That's cat.
He did beat Tito Trinidad, though. I thought he beat Tito. That's the reason why. That's the reason why Tito didn't rematch him.
He didn't get the nod.
No, I think people that robbery is a little overblown. We examined that fight. That's just my opinion. Historically, people call it a robbery.
Oh, Felix Sturm?
No, the Trinidad fight.
Oh yeah,
Sturm was a robbery. Sturm beat him, dude.
I thought he won against Mosley the second time in Los Angeles.
I thought Felix Sturm beat him clearly.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Sorry, no ball.
Look at it like this.
The majority rule. Sorry, bro.
If you're gonna look at it like this,
dude, Oscar whooped Sturm's ass, man.
Maybe for their first couple rounds.
Oscar's best win against somebody in their prime was actually fucking Fernando Vargas.
Hey, that's the thing that I gotta tell you, Drew, is Oscar took them fools out, even Ike Corte and all these other dudes.
Yeah.
That way nobody else had to deal with them, bro.
Yes,
he exterminated them dudes forever.
Well, De La Hoya, he didn't fight Winky right.
He would have beaten
He would have whooped Winky.
He would not have.
I was at Winky right.
Winky would have beaten them.
At
that time, Oscar was like, he was looking for the biggest fight because Winky was like Morel, a high risk, high reward.
And a bad style matchup for sure, dude.
I think.
And he was never entertaining to begin with, so it would have been.
No, he wasn't.
Hey, Fernando Vargas beat Winky, didn't he?
I don't remember. Did he?
He did.
Good for him.
I don't think so. What? No.
Yeah, he did beat him.
Look it up, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's always bragging about it, man. I'm the guy. Who are you, man?
I'm
the guy that whooped Winky right, man.
Winky Wright beat Shane Mosley. Yes. At 154.
Yeah.
But that was a little too high up in weight class for Mosley.
Even Cotto beat Mosley, huh?
He did at 147.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
Mosley.
He outboxed him.
Come on, man. Back in the day, everybody was whooping everybody.
Well,
and then Margarito beat Cotto. That was a classic. That I still watch that fight to this day. I don't care about the Cotto versus Margarito. I don't care about the plus. I just like that fight. Like it reminds me of like the 1960s stuff.
And hey, can you explain fight two? Classic. Hey, wait, Lil Penny, explain fight two. What happened there? Was he a little too enthusiastic about that one or what?
Hey, Margarito was coming on there at the end, and then they stopped.
There you go.
Yeah. Hey. I had to admit, it did look like that, and
like he was coming back.
Yeah, and you guys,
they had to stop it real quick because hey man, Margarito.
Hey man,
Chicano knows I'm a Cotto fan, and I saw that. I think it was like late on, like late in the fight. I'm like, oh fuck, here it goes. It almost looked like a repeat of the first fight, right? Like Cotto was completely dominating him, and it had the same feel and the same look of that.
Yeah,
I was like, I think it was like maybe 9-10. I'm like, oh fuck.
Here it goes.
Maybe he didn't have his gloves plastered or not, but it was a little scary. And then my cousin looked at me. He's like, yeah, he got pretty fucking lucky. I was like, dude, I love Cotto, but he did dodge a bullet there on that one because it was Margarito started. That was the thing about Margarito. Like you could not knock the guy out. His motor was crazy. Plastered hands or not, like he was coming. He's gonna take 10 to land his 1 or 2.
Guys, when De La Hoya fought Pacquiao, he had the opportunity to actually fight Margarito too, because Margarito was the lineal 147 fighter at that time, but he chose the Pacquiao fight instead. It would have been interesting if Margarito fought De La Hoya.
A lot of people avoided Margarito until he got his ass whooped by Mosley.
Well, no, Williams fought him and beat him, and then Claudio fought him. And
Floyd was supposed to fight Margarito. A Top Rank offered him $8 million for the fight, and he turned it down.
There's a video. Did you see when they confront him
instead or something? Remember he fought Zab Judah instead?
Who?
Well, he had a
Mayweather.
He has
Bob
to win
Arum.
over
Bob
Sergio
Arum
Garcia,
offered.
too, Margarito.
Bob Arum offered Mayweather $8 million to fight Margarito on HBO.
I think Mayweather at the time, even though he did beat Baltimore, wasn't it like, oh, you shouldn't be fighting Baltimore because Baltimore beat Judah? Maybe I'm not remembering that right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he fought Judah first, and then he fought Baltimore next.
Right,
It's
but
like, it doesn't make sense.
Well, Baltimore was the guy who was the
Who
he
beat
was the
Judah?
champ.
Yes.
He was the champ at 147. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, if you watch that interview with Brian Kenny and Mayweather on ESPN back in the days, Brian Kenny was asking Floyd, why are you fighting Zab Judah when Baltimore already beat Zab Judah? And Floyd couldn't explain it. Like he said something like, "Oh, you don't know nothing about boxing." And
was this that like with Brian Kenny? That was a pretty good interview.
Yeah. And see, he did that a few times. He even did that with Cotto pre-Margarito. There was buzz for that fight. Yeah, so Bracels was Cotto's sparring partner. He was promised to fight next after the chop Corley, and Mayweather ended up fighting Bracels, and then we know what happened after that. I mean, I always believe, and I'm gonna still stand firm on this, that I think that Cotto, pre-Margarito Cotto, was a fucking problem for Mayweather.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was a great body puncher back then.
And his jab, he was nasty with his jab. And look what he did, like later on, like I think, like, eventually afterwards, like he busted up Mayweather. Like he made Mayweather change his whole style.
I reckon he broke Mayweather's nose because Mayweather started bleeding. Usually Mayweather doesn't bleed.
No.
I think. Look. I know we're bashing Floyd here, especially me.
Not me.
But I think, like Floyd. Look, Floyd is a great fighter, right? He's probably the best fighter of our generation. Like counting, whoever watches boxing since 2000 to 2024, Floyd is the best out of all of them from a talent point of view. But he didn't fight, like what I'm saying, the best of the best, right? That's why his legacy is paying for it now, where everyone is calling him out, especially on social media. You see it everywhere, right? These the cherry emoji, you see that everywhere because he chose the path to least resistance.
Right. Well, he should have fought Thurman at a certain point, and he didn't. There was a time when Thurman was the guy to see.
He should have fought Cotto at 47. He should have fought Manny in 2011 when Manny finally
should have fought Margarito. Should have fought Paul Williams.
Paul Williams. He should have fought Joel Casamayor.
Yes.
Arcelino Freitas.
There's
so many.
Yeah. Ricky Hatton at 140 instead of 147. Exactly. But the thing is, say for example, say we live in a bizarre world, and he did do that, right? Say he lost to Margarito at 147 because he's big. Then say he lost to Winky Wright because he's also too big and his defense is really good. But he won the rest, right? Because I've always thought that he would beat Pacquiao in 2011 or 2010. I think Mayweather had the opponents, and he had the fanfare to be the greatest fighter ever, even better than Sugar Ray Robinson, because he had the opponents in their primes to do it, like Pacquiao, Cotto, like all of the Mosley, like you know what I mean, like Winky Wright, all these fighters at 154. But the fact that he didn't do it, right, it makes me feel like sometimes when I think about when I'm alone, I'm in the train, it makes me like when I'm watching fights on my phone, it makes me feel like he robbed me of seeing the greatest fighter of our era.
Whoa, pause. Rob you.
Yeah, because he didn't fight. Because had he done that, I'm not asking him to win every single fight,
Oh,
he can lose one or two. Like a loss doesn't mean anything to me. Like it's how you come back from it. You know what I mean? Like say he beat Pacquiao in 2010. Say they had another rematch in 2012. He beats Pacquiao. Say he loses to Margarito or he loses to Winky Wright, but he beats Cotto. He beats Hatton at 140. You know what I mean? Like that path, like what Pacquiao did. I think he has a better he would have had a better resume than Sugar Ray Robinson.
And way more respect too. Way more respect as well.
Yeah, way more respect. Yeah, even like Stephen A. When Stephen A. Smith, when Pacquiao and when Mayweather wasn't fighting Pacquiao and Pacquiao was making these commercials like he's ducking him, Stephen A. Smith always said that Pacquiao may have lost 5 times, but he can go into any gym in America and not get not get teased. Unlike
Well, yeah,
Mayweather,
yeah.
he will get teased. Like if he goes to like a Mexican, if he goes to Tijuana and goes into a boxing gym with that sort of a record, like, dude, you're so good. Why are you fucking cherry picking, dude? Like, but if Manny Pacquiao comes in the building, they're not gonna do that. They'll probably shake his hand and hey,
yeah. Pacquiao's more beloved for sure.
yeah. You know,
loved-
that's
loved
what I mean. Like, I feel like because he had that path and he didn't do it. Like, I feel like because I wanted him to be the greatest ever. Because who had like I wasn't old enough to see Sugar Ray Robinson live, right? But wouldn't it be great to live in an era where, like, you know, the greatest fighter you saw live on pay-per-view? Like, wouldn't that be great? But he didn't do that. And I wasn't old enough to watch Muhammad Ali in the 70s. I was born in 78, right? So I was too young, right?
You also gotta realize like this: it's not gonna be no boxer today or back in that time in Floyd's era that's gonna go lose his first fight and then go on a 72 fight winning streak like Robinson did and everything. It's not gonna ever happen again. There's not going to be another fighter.
Bernard Hopkins did.
Yeah, here's the thing, but he's not good. There's not going to be another fighter that goes on a 72 fight winning streak that wins his first 72 pro fights or something, or 89 pro fights, because what Chavez Sr. did when he went 89-0 before losing his first professional fight. That pedigree is gone. There's not going to be no fighters now that's going to fight maybe no more than maybe 50, that at most maybe 40 professional fights in their career, if that.
No, but Drew, I'm not asking him to fight 70s. I'm just asking him to fight those guys. Say let's start at 140, right? He should have fought Ricky Hatton at 140. He should have fought Costa Zoo, right? And then goes to 147. He should have fought Cotto in 2007, 2008.
I'll be honest.
He should have fought Margarito as well.
I'll be honest right there. The Ricky Hatton thing didn't make a difference. He would have easily beaten Ricky Hatton anyway, because Ricky Hatton really wasn't really that good of a fighter.
Come on.
Yeah, but Drew, he didn't do it though. Yes, I agree
bro.
with you. I agree, but he didn't do it.
How you gonna talk? Hey man, come on, man. The Ricky Hatton hate is unacceptable, bro.
I'm allowed to fucking hate a Ricky Hatton if I want to. I'm
I do think Ricky Hatton had the best fans, though. He had the best fans.
They bring the money.
It was a good time, bro. And I remember being pumped for Pacquiao versus Hatton that day. That felt like fight day, dude. I was fucking pumped for that one.
I was gonna say Mayweather, even according to his standards, he don't really got that many accolades, bro. Because he's always talking about being undefeated and stuff. Well, how many undefeated fighters did you beat, Mayweather?
Hey, like what Haney Sr. said, man, that 50-0 doesn't mean shit in the streets. That's what he said. And it's true.
You know, in the streets.
His other accolade too is how many former champions he beat.
Yeah, that's true. I do hear that too. But some of those
that's a loaded.
That's another guy Floyd should have fought before he got like Junior Ritter. He should have fought him. That guy from the UK.
Oh yeah, the one that Tim Bradley fought, Junior Witter. I remember that.
Yeah,
Floyd should have fought him back in the day too.
Hey, there's a bunch of guys he should have fought.
But
right?
you know,
should have fought a Mosley at 130, 135.
Margarito probably
he should have fought. Remember
his
Brazilian fighter Popo Freitas?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Remember him?
Hey, he took forever to fight Cotto, right? He could have fought him a lot earlier.
Yeah, 147. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
or I think at 140 that could have happened.
Yeah, I mean,
bro, but you know what? Like, I'm telling you, you're right. Kind of, little Penny. Like, I get what you're saying, bro. But like, only the hardcores remember stuff like that. You know, like people just think Mayweather and like some of his wins did age well. He goes, "Hey man, I beat De La Hoya, beat Pacquiao, I beat Canelo." Right? I mean, you know, you'd have to be really knowledgeable to, and you know, and you're never gonna say this to his face. You know, if you see him, you know what I mean, right?
He's in Dubai.
Little Penny's. I like it, Little Penny. I'm just saying,
depends. Like if I think if I had a few drinks, because I don't drink that much,
he has that headband on. He'll step up to anybody. He has
hey, this headband came from that fight. By the way, I think because you guys, especially the HCP people, when they say that sometimes the black community don't turn up to fights,
Who's
this
wait,
time
wait, wait,
is
whoa, whoa,
right.
whoa? You think HCP people? Who says that?
Oh
I don't
no,
know.
because sometimes I hear that, and he's
Little
right.
Penny, where the fuck are you getting that?
No, because I went to that Floyd Mayweather Canelo fight. That was Mayweather. That was when Mayweather was at his apex at Apex Mountain. That fight in Las Vegas, I hardly saw any black people. They're all Mexicans. There were
Nando-
Mexicans everywhere. At
Na-
the weigh-in, in the MGM Grand, at the fight, there were hardly any black people there.
But
They
you
don't
I
know,
have
show
no
up, man.
association with this statement.
you can say that, little Penny. Just like Nando says, like I don't recall if you're saying D-Style said it, but don't say like HCP people say it. Like I don't. A lot of people I know that were with the network when it was at its peak. I don't remember them going like, "Oh, black people don't fill up the stadium." Like we never
Okay,
talked
maybe
like
I'm
that, bro.
generalizing, right?
You're totally generalizing. You know what I'm saying?
But I've got some. I've got an example, dude. That was Mayweather's apex.
Okay,
The-
A Fight Doctor has something I want you to respond to, Little Penny. He says, "Guys, I'm no Floyd Mayweather fanboy, but in all honesty, lots of fighters ducked Floyd back in the day." Fight Doctor,
dude,
I would like some
Mayweather-
examples, please. And Little Penny, go ahead.
Dude, Mayweather was the A side, right? No one's ducking Mayweather. When you get that call from Mayweather, you not only that you answer it, you sign the dotted line because he's the A side. The A side, is the one that determines the fight. Like for example, Cotto can say when Cotto was the lineal champ at 147, he can say, "Okay, I want Floyd Mayweather," but it's Floyd's decision as the A side whether to fight him or not. That's the difference. So for anyone can call, like when Floyd announced that fight against Marquez, it was during the Pacquiao Hatton weekend, right? So and Brian Kenny told Floyd on ESPN and said, "Floyd, why don't you just wait for the Hatton Pacquiao result? Because you're coming out of retirement anyway. It's not like why announce the Floyd Mayweather Marquez fight during the weekend of the Hatton Pacquiao fight? Just wait for that result. Whoever the winner is, you fight him." And he said, and then Floyd's excuse was, "Oh, that's because Marquez called me out." Hey, dude, everybody calls you out, man. Everybody.
Right.
You're the cash cow.
The 135 pounder.
What about the
called him out.
poll? What about the Maidana and Amir Khan poll that all the fans do? What was the majority?
Right.
I mean,
you know what? And Khan would have been a bad stylistic matchup for Floyd. Okay, Fight Doctor says Cotto ducked Floyd when they were both at 140 and both were fighting for top rank.
Dude. Man,
Tell you the truth, Floyd wasn't fighting for top rank when Cotto fought for top rank.
But Mayweather is the A side. He did like, for example, I'll give another example. When you go to a club and you like a girl that you want to kiss, that it's not up to you. It's up to her because she's the A side, right? She's the one, she determines whether she likes you or not. It's the same thing with boxing. When you're the A side, you determine who you want to fight. Anyone can call you out, right? But it's the A side who determines.
You know what? They were never at 140 at the same time, him and Cotto. Floyd was at 147, rotating between 147 and 154. So what the fuck is that statement?
Floyd was always one.
That's true. Like when Cotto fought Cintron, that was at 140, right?
Yeah.
Right, and Floyd was already a welterweight at that point.
Yeah, he was.
Floyd was rotating between 154 and welterweight.
But when Cotto beat Mosley, that was the time that everyone was asking Floyd to fight Cotto, but he fought someone else. I think he fought Baldomir next. I don't know. I can't remember.
It was it was a sparring partner.
Well, here's the thing. You know, if you bring up that Kenny, that interview between Kenny and Floyd, if you think about all those names, and even the one where he was interviewing him when he fought Zab Judah, Floyd fought all the guys that Brian Kenny mentioned eventually. The timing was off, but it's like, oh, why don't you fight Mosley? Well, he did fight him, right? And there was a lot of dudes like, oh, why don't you fight this dude? And he's like, oh, I'll stop. You know, like I think like he pretty much fought them all eventually.
He did. He eventually fought them all, but the timing is off. You have to fight them when they're in their primes. That's the difference. Like that's the reason why his legacy is taking a hit. Like a lot of people that you ask, okay, look, everyone knows that Floyd is better than Pacquiao, right? Even the Filipinos would agree to that. but Pacquiao has got a better resume than Floyd. That's because Floyd didn't because Floyd chose the path to least resistance.
Well, I think
was
that fight might look
terrible.
if that fight had happened when it was supposed to happen, that fight could have played out differently. I mean, I remember Pacquiao at the time was just like wild, and just
Look, Floyd around 2010, 2011, dude, that guy was cat quick, man. I think Floyd would have won. It would have been, it wouldn't be like a 10-2, like 10-2 fight or 9-3 like what happened in 2015. It might have been a little bit closer, but I do think Floyd eventually would have won that fight. He's just too quick, man. You can't hit him too. He's cat quick. Like that was 2010, 2011. Man, Floyd was like those mosquitoes where you're trying to like fucking hell. They're just so freaking quick. You can't kill them. Floyd was like that.
He wasn't like untouchable. I mean, yeah, he was pound for pound.
Oh no, he was untouchable, man.
At 147.
2011, 2010, Floyd.
What fights were going on around at the time? So I can kind of remember what fights were going on with Floyd.
Sorry guys, I'm gonna cut out of here.
All right, Georgie.
Hey, I enjoyed it. You guys have a good night.
All right,
See you
man.
guys on the other side.
All right, brother.
Later.
Okay. Who was Floyd fighting around that time, dude?
2011.
Yeah, this prime Floyd.
He's fighting what's his name? Victor Ortiz, and those guys.
All right. Well, like I said, Floyd was great. I think Floyd was great, but he wasn't untouchable, bro. Like I don't know.
Floyd. Fight Doctor's point, Floyd was at 147 for 2 years when Miguel Cotto was at 140.
Nando brings up a good point. Maidana did beat him in that first fight. That's my scorecard anyway.
I had to draw that first
beat him.
fight.
I do think it was a close fight, but I do think that.
I had to draw.
When's the last time you scored it? Have you scored it recently? I take another look at that fight.
I do think it was a close fight.
Like
it's not one of those fights where it could have gone either way. I thought Floyd won.
I thought it could have gone either way, but they gave it to Floyd. That's just my opinion, and I thought I was surprised when I saw my scorecard because I rescored it because people were like, "Oh, Maidana beat him."
But he did lose that. He did lose the Jose Luis Castillo fight, though.
Well, see that's where I disagree. Like I think Floyd. I don't know what people are seeing when they see that fight, but that's just me. I saw it. I'm like, I don't know what people are seeing when they see that fight. I have Floyd Mayweather winning every time that first fight, but. People maintain that Castillo beat him in that first fight. So, I mean, I try to call it impartially, bro. Like, I don't have any bias, and you don't either. But I do think Maidana beat him in the first fight, or could have gone either way. But then again, he wasn't the same Floyd either. I mean, he wasn't. One of his very last fights.
Floyd's prime was like.
When I scored that fight,
2010.
I had it a draw. But if I was to give it to somebody, I would get the Maidana because it was like tell you the truth. Floyd wasn't really able to defend most of those punches in most of those rounds. I would have them like Maidana rounds. Like I had a lot of string rounds on my card. And
Lil Penny, will you do me a favor and watch that fight again and then score it?
Okay.
It's not bad, and just let me know what you think.
Well, what Maidana made like a cult following was what he did to Adrian Broner the fight before in San Antonio, because. I don't know if you guys followed that fight. Broner was talking a lot of crap, man. Like,
that was satisfying.
Like, he was like in the weigh-in, it was like, chewing gum, and it's like, what are you gonna do now? Like, do you have any power? Blah blah blah. And then in the fight, he completely embarrassed him, man, to the point where Adrian Broner even cried when he went back to the dressing room, kind of like what Paulie Malignaggi used to do. Well, like, he used to cry when he used to lose.
Fight Doctor here says, sorry, but Pacquiao's resume is not better than Mayweather's. Doesn't Pacquiao have a loss to an old past it Morales?
Can I say something?
Well, Lil Penny and I have
twice.
Oh,
I'm not
mic drop.
Manny Pacquiao's Ricky Hatton win was a lot better, and Manny Pacquiao's Oscar De La Hoya was a lot better than Floyd Mayweather's win.
It was, and it's the Cotto one too. The Cotto fight as well, and the Mosley fight.
Well, see, I'm glad that we could talk amongst like old heads because, a lot of people don't have this perspective. This younger generation or people who just kind of started watching fights around like, I don't know, the Pacquiao versus Floyd era. Even some of those guys don't really exist anymore. It's nice to have like, years of having watched the sport.
But you kind of, but let's not like bash these new boxing fans because we need more of them. Like,
for sure. And I don't sit there and go like, "Oh, what do you guys know? I've been watching boxing since you were in diapers." Like, I don't talk like that.
Yeah,
But
I know.
I do think it gives
Drew
them a
might.
lack of perspective, and a lack of appreciation. Like, I mean, some people who kind of came in late don't appreciate that Mayweather beat Castillo, right? Because they just really weren't paying attention. They weren't following boxing at the time, so they don't know how good of a win that was at the time.
But you kind of, I'm not going to let Ryan Garcia get away with this victory though, because he cheated twice.
But
It
here's
was
the thing.
3.5.
He did cheat. He did cheat. But here's the thing. We saw also that Devin Haney can't defend against a simple left hook.
Yeah, but the
And he
thing
has
is,
no chance.
but Drew, say for example, Ryan Garcia had to sacrifice himself and make 140 pounds. If he hit Devin Haney with that left hook again, it won't be as ferocious though, because he's now a little bit weaker, right?
But here's
And
the
without
thing.
drugs too.
But here's the thing. Drugs only does strength, not skill.
Lil Penny, I gotta say, I completely agree with you on this subject. I do think it's interesting. This and Drew's one of these people who kind of. I'm not talking about you specifically, Drew, and I know the LDBC. The Haney fans are getting really upset about this because a lot of people are saying this whole like, well, weight didn't matter, and these drugs wouldn't have mattered. Like it would have happened like this anyways, and that's really pissing them off, right? Now they're
No,
back.
I think the result would have been different for me.
I think it could have easily been different on a different night.
Dude,
but then
that
again, go ahead.
3.5 pounds is a lot, man, to lose. Like, sometimes I remember when Eric Morales fought Pacquiao the third time, he only had to lose like, maybe 0.4, and it was killing him. 0.4 pounds, right? To make 130 pounds, right? It was killing him. He was only eating oranges, sucking oranges for like a week because he had to make weight, right? Ryan Garcia, that's 0.4 pounds, right? Not even a pound. Ryan Garcia was 3.4 pounds over that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he would have had that kind of like where he had to sacrifice against Tank Davis, right? Like, and he had no power at all. He couldn't even hurt Tank Davis. Now, I know this wasn't at 136 pounds, it was at 140. I think that fight would have been much different had Ryan Garcia was forced to make 140 pounds and not take any drugs.
I looked at that fight. I watched it again. Yeah, the drugs with the strength, yes. Skill, no. But I'll be honest with you. That fight just made me just look at it like this. Teofimo Lopez beats Devin Haney. And it's Matias. If Sorel Matias can cut the wing off, he stops Devin Haney.
Devin Haney kept getting up, man. He couldn't knock him out.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
He kept getting up.
Garcia should be banned from boxing.
I think Ryan was kind of like, I don't know. I felt like I was frustrated with the way he made the choice not to finish Haney.
I know, man. It's like that Gen Y mentality where I don't care all that. That's bad, dude.
It's a lot of bullshit tactics that kid does. But tell you the truth, I don't agree with the fact that we find out 2 weeks later that he failed a drug test. This is the bullshit about box testing now.
The result coming in late did surprise me. It's a little too late in a way. It is a little funky. And there's a lot of conspiracy theorists going like, well, I don't know about this result. Like, okay, Fight Doctor here says Garcia should be fined and suspended. Fight should be changed to a no contest. I think we all agree with that, right, Drew?
Yeah, I agree with that.
I
It should
agree.
get changed to a no contest. But you want to know something? It's not going to happen because if they didn't do Alicia Bongano, if they didn't do any other people like that, they're not going to do this one, especially if it's in New York.
That's true.
Because
Like these days, you can lawyer up.
Remember when Canelo got caught like with the PEDs or whatever that is? He got suspended for 6 months, right? What can't they
Something
do?
like that.
But
Ryan
here's
Garcia?
the thing. These drugs in his system, it's a minimum of 2 year ban.
Yeah, 2 years would be good. Yeah, because they don't only fight once a year anyway. So
Yeah,
what?
but here's
12
the
months.
That's a
thing.
long time. 2 years is a long
He
time.
might not. They look at this. This is a minimum of a 2 year ban, but of how severe it is, it may be a lifetime ban, depending on how they handle it. Because right there, he literally stayed 3 pounds above weight. But
Yep.
if you look at it, this tells you another thing about Devin Haney. His ceiling's 140. He goes up to 147. He's getting destroyed.
Well, that's the truth, And Nato here says Haney's going to be thinking about his own lack of power more than ever. Like, I do think the story's out on Haney, but I knew that was only a matter of time. Like, Haney was selectively choosing opponents, right? I mean, Kambosos, that's an easy win. But yeah,
I don't know about select. That's a little harsh, man.
I don't
because
think so.
no one was fighting. No one was willingly going to Australia not once but twice to fight Kambosos. It was really only Devin Haney, and then he fought Lomachenko.
Well, okay, willing. I mean,
it
was good timing, and that was the fight for Haney to make because Kambosos had the belts. But I still think it was an easy touch. I think it worked out for him to take that.
Yeah,
fight
looking back, Chicano.
No, not looking.
In hindsight, yeah.
Yeah.
In hindsight, yeah.
It was the best. It was the best option for him at the time, obviously, because I mean the guy was the champ. He was kind of an inconsequential
but
champ.
Chicano, when Haney fought Kambosos the first time, and mind you, this is in Australia, right? So there was a lot of rumors out there that they're gonna rob Haney because what they did to Pacquiao when Pacquiao fought
Jeff Horn,
Joe Horn, whatever his name was, right? So coming into the fight, it was pretty close to a 50-50. Now Haney might have been like a slight favorite, but it wasn't that big.
Okay, let's give you the Kambosos one, okay? Well, he still fought Lomachenko selectively, like when the dude's older, right? And I know Haney likes to pretend to do this. Oh, well, I've been calling you out. Well, he was calling out people when he didn't deserve the fights, right? So he could go back and go, look, see, I called you out. Like he fought Loma when Loma was older. Okay, it was the right time to fight Loma. I think if that fight happened anytime before that,
good though, Chicano.
Yeah, but he was still an older 135 pounder.
And Loma arguably beat him. A lot of people,
right? And then he goes up to fight Prograis, and he's like, "Well, yeah, you look like shit." Yeah, dude, he looked like Prograis looked like shit. He looked like shit.
In hindsight,
Prograis looked like shit before that Haney fight. Dude, that fight before he looked like shit.
But he did claim
that's not hindsight.
He's claiming that he was under a rehydration clause. To me, I think he's lying because first of all, if you're under a rehydration clause, you would have said it during the press conference that they got me under a rehydration clause, that they could come and weigh anything you want. I can't weigh.
Which fight are you talking about, Drew?
Prograis.
Oh, Prograis, okay.
Prograis said in an interview that he was under a the Haney's had him under a rehydration clause.
Well, I haven't heard that.
Prograis, was an email champion. He got a belt gifted to him, right? It looked like shit, and then Haney took him, right? There was better fights for Haney to take at the time. Then he goes and fights Ryan Garcia, and Ryan Garcia did not deserve a title shot in my opinion. That fight shouldn't have happened in the first place. Okay, so to me, those are three well-timed fights, if you ask me. So it was only a matter of time before he got exposed. I'm not saying he's not good, but I mean, I feel like the talent's kind of caught up with him. And now he's ready to go fight Sandor Martin because he's all of a sudden he's got this mandatory who's got.
And it's not even. I don't even think this is a cakewalk of a fight for neither the Sandor Martin. Oh, it's too because it's like this. Sandor Martin is built for this weight. Sandor Martin, two of these guys, one of them's gonna have to eventually be the aggressor, and I don't think that fucking Sandor Martin's gonna be the aggressor. It's gonna be more Devin Haney. That's what Sandor Martin is, a terrific counterpuncher that can catch Devin Haney.
Yeah,
this is not a cakewalk for Devin Haney, and I would not be surprised if Sandor Martin wins this fight.
Hey, Chicano, can you just pull up what Fight Doctor is saying? Because that's a really important. Yeah, so here, the reason why I think that this might affect Haney long term is because of this. He's broken permanently. It's kind of like when Margarito destroyed Miguel Cotto. Like after that, Cotto was not the same anymore. He wasn't the same. Same with like AJ when Ruiz destroyed him. He's not the same. That aura is no longer there. And I feel like now Haney is not Pacquiao and I don't know, he might be in the same class as AJ in terms of talent wise. But once someone breaks you, regardless if they cheated or not, it's there permanently. Like people like in your mindset, kind of like when same when Marquez knocked out Pacquiao, their fourth fight. If you watch the Pacquiao fights before that fight and after that fight, it's like night and day. Like, it's because now you're broken mentally. That's what Haney is trying to say. And Ryan Garcia did it whilst cheating, not once, but twice. The 3.5 pounds over and the drugs, right? That's two. Like, now you like with the Pacquiao one, it's all good because Marquez, he didn't, with the drug test, even though there was some rumors, he passed the test. All good, right? Like, okay, no probs. But with Ryan Garcia, there are facts out there that he cheated. Vargas got the test, right? So it's, and you were 3.5 pounds over, dude. Like, dude, that's cheat. That's so. I mean, you could argue, okay, he was 0.3 pounds over. He was 140.3 pounds. He can't make weight anymore. Like, oh yeah, okay. People will probably, like, boxing fans, real boxing fans will say, all right, okay, 0.3 pounds is not too bad. You paid him 1.5 million. Okay, I'll give you a pass. But 3.5 pounds over, nah, no pass. And then 2 weeks later, he gets caught cheating. Man, dude, that is. If I was Haney, I would sue this guy. I would sue him.
Well, let me ask you something, okay? Because we've been talking about hindsight. Okay, when you heard that Ryan Garcia was over, you probably thought it was because Garcia wasn't taking the fight seriously, right?
Yes.
And yeah, we all thought that, right? So
Everyone
hindsight, we're like, oh, it was this great strategic move, but I've been saying, like, it could have easily have been a different result. Like, if Haney had just gone in there and won, we wouldn't be talking like this. You know what I mean? Like, it happened to work out for Ryan Garcia. I think that fight could look different.
Ryan Garcia brings new eyes to boxing. He brings a lot of these young fans that like old boxing heads want. We want young fans to follow boxing, and that's what Ryan Garcia brings. So I'm not saying like permanently like cut off this guy, but like you gotta make him pay so that he doesn't do it again. Because if the authorities let it go, he will do it again because he got away with it the first time. So you gotta make an example, like what they did to Canelo, right? When Canelo got caught with the drugs, they fined him, and they had a 6-month ban. And obviously, like whether he did it intentionally or not, Canelo hasn't, he passed the second test and he hasn't been caught since, right? So he learned his lesson. But if you let Ryan Garcia like get away with this, he will do it again, especially the weight.
Yeah.
Like,
here's the main problem I'm having with this. 2 weeks later, where other drug tests, you'll find out maybe a couple of days after the fight and everything. And all of a sudden, we'll find out 2 weeks after this fight. I just don't understand why. Here's the thing. Off of that, why are you not texting these motherfuckers a couple of days before the fight? Why are you not keeping up a constant drug testing program? Vargas has no business. Vargas is bullshit. Vargas is ineffective. Vargas should have nothing to do with it. If anything, the athletic commissions should be the one having to do all the drug tests. I think they need to go to another type of drug testing.
water.
Because the thing about it is, at the end of the day, Vada ain't doing shit. We are finding out after fights that these guys are testing positive for shit, and you're not protecting the fighters.
Isn't WADA better than VADA? WADA, the Olympic style one.
I've heard that they submit them to the same testing companies, like these people that come and they collect and then they submit it to the same. That's what I've heard, anyways. I don't know if that's true.
They need to start doing Olympic style drug testing.
But you know when Drew, remember when Canelo got caught? It was 2 weeks later.
It was meat because of the meat in Mexico.
That's right.
He was eating and everything.
Yeah. But the test came 2 weeks after the fight, remember? Or 3 weeks, whatever it was. It wasn't before the fight. It was after.
That's another thing, but it was VADA too. That's how VADA found out.
No, it maybe it was. If it was after, I know it stopped the rematch from happening right away. Because then,
correct.
But look at it like this. I said this right now, and I heard this. You're not gonna go to that because it costs like maybe like several $1,000 for each boxer to do a test on and everything, and they won't be having many fights if they do that. Here's the thing: the whole fucking shit's corrupted. At the end of the day, fucking over 75% of the fighters anyway are fucking juicing as it is.
Probably.
And everything.
Maybe.
So if we look at it like this, if they can't make it better in certain sports, what's to say they can make it better in boxing and everything? But when you have someone that was part of the biggest steroid scandal in sports history associated with the boxing,
Vic Conti.
you're never gonna get over it.
Yeah. Well, I think boxing's corrupt by nature, and I do think, who the hell is this guy to be dictating things? Like, it's amazing his status, and I think his connections he's a little too friendly with certain entities, in my opinion. But I don't have like strong feelings about steroid testing, dude. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm gonna wrap this up. Drew, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I could. At the end of the fucking day, I think, as I look at this right now, Floyd and Cotto were never at 148 at the same time. So they got the winner. And Pacquiao never ducked Floyd for 5 years. It was the other way around, or else we would have had that fight already if Floyd really wanted to fight at that time. Floyd's resume is a bunch of big names that are actually in the twilight of their career, out of their primes. All guys that were exposed, that were beaten, like Andre Bodo and Victor Ortiz.
And Guerrero.
And yeah, Guerrero. You see, I don't give a fuck about that guy. But at the end of the day, you look at it like this: Ryan should be banned. I believe he needs to be banned for 2 years at least.
2 years.
And people are not really looking at this other end, or looking at steroids. Steroids does something, but it's straight.
I don't think it was steroids though, Drew. It was
not against skill. It doesn't do nothing for skill. And I think because at the end of the day, Devin still couldn't defend against a normal left hook. And it does show flaws in Devin Haney. And it just lets you know that Devin Haney's ceiling is 140. He should not go up no more than 140. He'll get killed at 147. He does not have the punch.
True, he struggled to make 140.
He does not have the punch resistance.
True.
To keep a fighter at 147 off him.
Yeah, Fight Doctor says he got popped for nandrolone too. Well, if anybody knows how to hook me up with some SARMs or some nandrolone, you holler at your boy, and I'm curious to see what happens if I just take it.
Hey, Devin Haney got paid 30 million plus 1.5 million, so he's probably laughing all the way to the bank.
All right, Lil Penny, any final thoughts, man?
My final thoughts: I'm glad that boxing is now in a space where everyone's fighting the best of the best, especially that LA card, man. That card is stacked. It's super stacked, right? And you know, Fury is also fighting Usyk. We got the 175 undisputed fight since Roy Jones was the undisputed at 175 in 2002. 2002, man. Usyk versus Bataviev. Hopefully, Canelo will fight Benavidez, which I do believe he will do that, regardless if Saudi is involved or not. Because he can make. He's a draw. He's a draw already. The Saudi will just be the icing on the cake. So I'm glad that Mayweather cherry picking. What do you call it? Marinating era has now gone away, because that destroyed boxing in the decade of 2010 and the decade so far of 2020. So it's got to go back to what it was before the cherry picking. We want to see the best of the best, so that boxing can continue to be the wild west of sports.
Wild west.
Well, and I would like to give a final toast to the man of the hour, the face of boxing, Canelo Alvarez, who won tonight, man. And I'll tell you this, dude, like
About pay-per-view projection, how much?
600K.
Like 800,000.
Yeah, I'm with 800,000 too.
You know what? Because I was thinking about it real quick. Like, I think actually having pay-per-views on Prime is actually not a bad idea. Like, everybody's got Prime. It's very accessible. You know, it's not like it's like, oh, what is this platform? I ordered it. It was very easy. Thank you. It's like, thank you for purchasing. Here you go. You know, and it's like, you know, it was actually quite easy. So I think it's going to do well. And so I just want to say, I want to give a toast to Saul Canelo Alvarez. You know what? We just got to enjoy these fights while we can, man. You know, everybody, I mean, we all watch all the fights anyways, but when Canelo fights, it's a big event. You know, there's a lot of history, a lot of people, you can root for him, you can hate on him, you know, but I mean, that's what being a fan's all about, man. So it's fun while he's here, and when he's gone, it's going to be done, you know, and it's not going to last forever, you know. So
is Alvarez doing the Mayweather as Fight Doctor said? Do you agree with that, Chicano? Is Alvarez doing the Mayweather?
I think so in a way. I think
He'll
so
be
in a way.
in Dubai 10 years, owing people money, and won't be able to leave the country.
Nah. You know what? I think Canelo's I think he's smart with his investments. And so I'm just going to ride this out and enjoy this, man. Like I said, Canelo is going to be the undisputed 168-pound champ all throughout this nice summer. You know, people can eat it as far as I'm concerned if you don't like Canelo. All right, everybody. Thanks for everybody who listened
in that name, man. You got to put respect in that name.
That's exactly right. Exactly. All right, y'all. Have a good one. Peace. All right, Drewski. Oh, fucking tired, bro.
Oh God, I was getting ready to call myself the YTBC killer.
Oh man, the YTBC killer.
or the YBTC legend killer.
All right, man. I'm gonna crash. I know it's like 3:00 for you too, right?
Man, I'm off tomorrow. I'm just chilling, man. We might be getting a fucking dog Monday.
You told me, bro.
My fucking blow is like this, yo. We're going to the adoption center Monday. We're gonna get a dog, probably. I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, nothing wrong with a dog in the family.
Nah, there's nothing wrong with a dog at all. You know, they want to get a small dog now.
As long as it's not a yipping dog. I hate fucking yipping dogs.
No, I actually showed them a puppy that's up for adoption, but it's a medium breed, and they don't want a medium dog. They want like a small dog. And I was like, come on, Jim. I'm like, look at the fucking name on this thing. Chaos. Don't you want a dog named Chaos? I can't hear you. You're mute.
Oh, sorry about that. Oh, that's interesting, man. All right, man. Well, hope you have a good night.
All right.
Peace.